मेदिनि विश्वविनोदिनि नन्दिनुते गिरिवरविन्द्य शिरोदिनि वासिनि विष्णुविलासिनि जिष्णुनुते भगवति हेशिति कण्ठकुटुम्बिनि भूरि कुटुम्बिनि भूरि कृते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते सुरवरवर्षिणि दुर्धरदर्शिनि दुर्मुखमर्षिणि हर्षरते त्रिभुवनपोषिणि शङ्करतोषिणि किल्बिषमोषिनि घोषरते धनुजनिरोषिणि दितिश्रुतरोषिनि दुर्मथतोषिनि सिन्धुसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते
Hi guys, thank you for joining the live stream. I hope the audio is coming fine. StreamYard has some weird problems that I have not found the solutions to as of yet, which is, first of all, the mirror camera doesn't work. You are seeing me as I actually look, which I don't think I look really good in this angle. I like the opposite view of me, because that's how we are used to seeing ourselves in the mirror, right? And I realize now that how less proportionality there is in our faces. My nose, my lips all look tera mera because of this angle. But the way I'm seeing myself in the StreamYard is how usually I like to see myself in Google Meet as well, but that's not what I'm being able to cast in YouTube. And also StreamYard has this weird problem that I can't monitor my own audio, okay? I can't listen to myself. At the moment in my headphone I'm listening to nothing. I'm putting it on only when for someone else comes on, and so that I could listen to when the intro song was ending. And also you can't reuse details. That's the weirdest, most annoying thing. Even the monetization part cannot be done from the StreamYard itself. You have to go back to YouTube, then again type in all the details, whereas if you did direct from YouTube, you could just reuse details from a past live stream. Voice is low, no? Yeah, that's what. I can't figure out whether it's low or not because I can't even hear myself. Hopefully it will be fixed. Hopefully this will fix itself. Okay, now. So, before anyone, कौन जुड़ेगा दादा के साथ? Yeah, first let me know what topics you all are planning to do. Okay, Nina is saying maybe you can start a book reading of Kushal Mehra's. No, I won't do that. First of all, because I don't want Kushal Mehra to. I want Kushal Mehra to find success with his book. Let's not do that. It's pure copyright territory as well. I have started reading his book, and I finished the introduction. There are some interesting things he said, including something like, yes, religions are flawed, but they are still important. I don't know if he's going to elaborate on that or not, but that was an interesting quote. And also, I wanted to discuss something else. One thing is that a few days back, we got into a debate about the importance of debates on Twitter. Oh, by the way, today is the first day I'm streaming simultaneously on Twitter as well. So anyway, Savitri Mumukshu, that handle, who is pretty famous on non-left Twitter in India for picking out quotes from here and there and debating people. She and I got into a bit of a fiasco, and now she has blocked me, then she unblocked me, then again she blocked me. So the fun thing was, it all started with some Bengali Twitter handle saying that here's this Sangam talk of Srijit Dotto, where he defends Raja Ram Mohan Roy, and apparently they or that guy or Sangam Talks, I don't exactly remember, someone or the other had invited, according to them, invited Savitri Mumukshu a debate about Raja Ram Mohan Roy, and apparently their claim was that she said yes, then she backed out, etc. Then Savitri Mumukshu joined that Twitter thread and said that no, I have never said yes to any such thing. And then one of my viewers tagged me saying that And even then, my Twitter handle is called Indic Economics. So that person said that, and even then, Indic Economics promotes this guy, meaning Srijit Dotto, as if he knows everything. So I just retweeted that, saying that I'm just someone who sees good arguments on both sides. I've stopped giving a shit about Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Brahmo Samaj personally. I'm not interested anymore. It's too much effort to just find out good aspects, bad aspects, good aspects, bad aspects about just one person. And because I personally see good arguments on both sides. So I said, I'll just host a debate. Does anyone want to debate? I did not mention anyone because I don't even know who wants to take part in the debate. I don't know who thinks they themselves are qualified, because you might think someone is qualified to debate, but they might themselves not think. They might have that humility or in an inferiority complex, etc. So I said, does anybody want to debate? I'll host. So people tagged random people. Some people tagged some pro Raja Ram Mohan Roy voices. Some people tagged some anti Raja Ram Mohan Roy voices. Some people tagged Savitri Mumukshu. Some people tagged a Twitter handle called Parleji. So mic volume increase karo. Acha. Abhi bhi. Yes, StreamYard. So some people tagged Savitri Mumukshu. So Savitri Mumukshu comes and says that thanks for tagging me, but debates are useless and or pointless. And that really pissed me off. And if a commie said this, I would not be pissed off, obviously, because that's what they do. I mean, that would be the first thing to expect from a commie, because at the end of the day, they are not going to debate you and kill you, massacre, genocide. These are the mainstays of any commie, whether it be a student politician or a big politician. But someone from seemingly our side saying that, when I would argue debate is all we have, changing minds through conversations is all we fucking have. In such a situation as in 2024, this person whose entire Twitter persona is created for debating people. She doesn't have her own profile picture. I don't even know if it's a girl or a boy or an old person or an old lady. That Twitter handle is saying debates are pointless. So I just retweeted her quote saying, oh, debates are pointless, quote unquote. And I didn't say anything else because I didn't want to be too rude, because after all, she is seemingly on our side. She, except on this Raja Ram Mohan Roy issue, she does fight the good fight, okay? Now, I of course know where her problem lies, because these people are court readers. They have probably never read a complete book since they passed out of college. Or even in college, they have not read a full book. So I think what they do is they have WhatsApp or Telegram chat groups where they share these quotes and screenshots of different books from here and there. Because if anyone, all these quote sharers on Twitter, etc., if they read all those books whose quotes they share and take screenshots of, they would have like 10 PhDs by now. But anyway, I think they Google stuff, where do I find this topic, and then they find that this book has discussed this topic. Then they go to that the PDF of that book and hit Control F and find that topic and find whatever lines they can find to support their biases. That's how they debate people. So fair enough. If you win by doing that, even that's fine. Then she counters me saying that, why are you saying that I said just debates are pointless? I said other things as well. And have you seen how this person's minions, meaning Srijit Dotto, how this person's minions have been behaving online, etc. So I said, minions behaving rudely, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? I did not say what the fuck is that supposed to mean. That was going on in my head. That I just said that, is this your first day on the internet? Are you saying, then I said that, are you going to debate people only if your opponent's supporters keep quiet on social media for a particular amount of time? What does minions have to do with this? And what then your minions also countering me that, no, why do you bring on Srijit Dotto so much? So then after this, she blocks me. Then I start calling her, I have named her Blockhistory Darpukshu. Yeah. Then lots of her minions come and try to tell me that, no, what's there to debate? It's an open and shut case. Then I try to tell people that this is what Sitaram Goel faced. Sitaram Goel said to people like Romila Thapar, Irfan Habib that debate me. They said, I guess, in all the topics, okay, Islamic invasions, then Ram Mandir, etc. These peoples, those commie historians also had said that, what's there to debate? These are open and shut cases. So first of all, I reminded that you are doing the same thing that had been done to you, that same unfair thing. So now let's get past the unfair fair business as well. Whether the debates lead to good outcomes or not, let's talk about that. So if it is in fact such an open and shut case, why are you on Twitter debating it? You are debating it. In fact, Savitri Mumukshu and then that Parleji guy comes and gives me arguments to convince me that there is nothing to argue about. He debates me, giving points, counters me, and then says, see, since I have given you so many arguments and since I have debated you basically, there is nothing to debate. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Do these guys even understand the meaning of the word debate? You are debating whether it's debatable or not. Okay, and then they counter me, etc. Then Savitri Mumukshu has blocked me. She's out of the picture for that moment. Then the Parleji guy goes on saying that okay, Raja Rammohn Roy was very bad, etc. I go on saying that fair enough. Come on the live stream and say this. Who's stopping you? All of this started with me saying I see good points on both sides. For a while, Savitri Mumukshu unblocks me and comes on to say she senses that I'm not going to be a neutral person and that I apparently have a hidden agenda. So even though I did not even tag her, even though I did not mention her, even though I did not invite her to a debate, I have a hidden agenda to somehow prove Raja Rammohn Roy to be the best human being that Bengal has ever created. So that of course pissed me off. Then I started being a little more ruder, but I did not give galis at all. But I did call her Block History's Darpokshu repeatedly. Then the Parleji fucker, he says, what did Sitaram Goel, in not so many words, but paraphrasing him, he says, what did Sitaram Goel achieve by debating people? What debates did Romila Thapar and Irfan Habib win? Did they ever debate anyone on YouTube to have this voice? So I said, you dumb fucker. I didn't say actually fucker. I should have. Don't you realize that they have an entire Qawmi ulema behind you? I mean, behind them. The entire Qawmi ulema. Okay. The academia of the entire world was supporting those people, and even today they support those people. Those historians got their voice because they cozied up to the Nehru government. They were, let's say, employees of the Nehru government or the Nehruvian idea and Congress governments who had the support of liberal or Qawmi academia of the entire world. So they can get away with doing practically anything in academia. What ulema is going to come to save you? What ulema is going to defend you? People can't even fund Salvador Babones in USA. Who are you waiting for? You think just because Narendra Modi is in power up until let's say 2029 or maybe 2-3 years after that, just because BJP is in power, therefore you don't need to change people's minds. You think you are going to have the same support in ramming opinions down people's throats, just the same way that Marxists have? How stupid, dumb fuck are you? So then I point out that this hypocrisy is everywhere. Like I can't learn MMA and BJJ because the British destroyed our martial traditions. Okay, I really like street power, but my children study abroad. I live abroad. I come on Twitter to debate things. I like Purva Paksha, but I think debates are pointless, useless, etc. So these are the hilarious things that have been going on. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is someone asked me a question yesterday that why are you pointing that thing about that a person from Bengal has won this grant called Einstein Fellowship grant. It is a very interesting grant. It is given to people for let's say if you are in a particular field, in any field, but you have interest in another field. So I guess if you prove that you are pretty good in your field already, but you really are, you have self-taught or you have some skills in other fields and you do want to research in another field. So it's basically, we give you a grant to pursue your hobby now. Every year, I think, or I don't know if it's every few years, one person in the entire world gets this grant, okay? Now, a person from Kolkata has received that grant this time. So all Bengali commies and liberals were cheering him. I saw people supporting his posts, post on Facebook saying that, see, it's such a proud moment for Bengal that a guy has won the Einstein Fellowship grant. So I went to that guy's profile to check out what this grant is all about. So it seemed like the way they were cheering it, and it's associated with Rabindranath Einstein for some reason, because whoever wins that grant is supposed to live at a house where Einstein lived, even Rabindranath lived for a while. So it all reeked of of leftist politics. So I see that the guy has long hair, has mutual friends with me. So everything that would fit an upper middle class or even possibly Brahmin commie profile in Kolkata, this guy fits the bill in all those aspects. Then I go through his profile and see that nothing seems to be coming up. Then I see that he studies somewhere called Karl Marx University, but I didn't pay too much heed to that, of course, because okay, maybe you do good research even in a place called Karl Marx Institute. Fair enough. Then I clicked on that. I guess his profile was linked with LinkedIn. So the moment I click on Karl Marx University, all his research bio comes up, that why did he get this grant and what he plans to do. There I see that he says that I can't divulge too much information, but it is all about creating some sort of resistance against Hindutva. So that first of all irked me, irritated me, and pissed me off a little, that oh my god, you are getting such a reputable grant, so much money to research stuff. You could have talked about so many problems in India, and you found Hindutva. Like there's nothing else in India, nothing else in Bengal to critique. Hindutva is the thing you need to counter. Okay, fair enough. So I took screenshots of that and posted it on YouTube. So someone yesterday asked me that why are you spending so much time on this guy? Now this is actually a very fair and good question. So I told him that I did not tell him. I said that I'll say it on the live stream. The reason you need to counter these people before they become big shots, and since now he has won this grant, basically the entire academic world is his oyster. If it wasn't already, he's from JU and Presidency, and he has studied for a while in JNU as well. Okay, he fits the bill completely. When he finishes that research, he is going to be brought on to give workshops, seminars, lectures. He's going to get teaching positions, speaking positions in anywhere he wants. Repeatedly, in every newspaper, he is going to be invited to write columns. Okay, and remember, Trinamool to aaj hai, kal nahi hai. ठीक है? So when Trinamool goes, communists in some form or the other, or maybe in the body of CPIM only, will be the opposition again, or maybe the ruling party, God forbid. So when that happens, when more development happens in West Bengal after Trinamool goes out of power, and people who are born, let's say 5-10 years from now, haven't seen the West Bengal we are seeing, or don't know what West Bengal went through, or don't know what West Bengal could have been since the time of 1961, when Lee Kuan Yew said that Kolkata, I want Singapore to become the next Kolkata, etc. They are going to think those same things, because it's going to be a complacent society. They are going to think that, oh, there's so much poverty, I guess we need communism. That's when these people will be the poster boys for communism again, or communist parties again. And you are not going to be able to counter them saying that no, but you guys did Modi Jhapi, you guys did Bijan Setu massacre, etc. They are going to say that, see, the people who did those things are first of all dead, and CPIM is really known for apologizing as well for insane things. They have apologized for, I think, not allowing computers. They have apologized for criticizing Netaji. So they are just going to say that, yeah, bad things happened. We are sorry for doing Modi Jhapi, and let's just move on. Because now you see, at the moment, there is so much wealth inequality and income inequality in Bengali society. Therefore, we need communists back in power. And these types of people, Einstein Fellowship wale people, they are going to be the face of those campaigns. What are you going to say then? Because unless you know that Einstein Fellowship grant is there are holes in those conversations. Unless you know that this guy got a grant just to research against Hindutva at a time when Bengal was burning in so many other ways, you are going to worship that guy. Just like we did worship the Nobel Prize up until a few years back. We could not do a preemptive strike on Nobel Prize up until now. Now we are only reacting. Okay. Now everyone says that no, Amartya Sen was a commie, etc. It's too late now. Nobel Prize reached a gigantic stature. I guess now that stature of Nobel Prize is also coming down. But why not be prepared for it? Okay. Because now we know that Obama won a Nobel Prize for just being a black man. Then he fucked Libya and created slavery in Libya. So many economists have won the Nobel Prize who have absolutely not contributed to their own home state or country, or to the prosperity of their own countries. And so many economists who have actually uplifted dirt poor countries have not gotten any recognition from any award ceremony, etc. Okay, So we need to let people know that even this Einstein Fellowship, at least for this guy, is a similar sort of a thing. So be prepared for those days. For next 30 years, CPM is not coming in Bengal. And who do you think is going to be the chief opposition? If not CPIM, it's going to be some sort of communist in the opposition, okay? Because even at the moment, Trinamool is as leftist as a party can get. So criticizing CPIM is not enough. Criticizing communism, leftist politics, socialism is the most important thing to do, because they are going to be the next opposition. Look at what Congress is doing. Is it anything different from what CPIM would have liked to do, right? So who is your real enemy? Congress, CPIM, Rahul Gandhi, or communism and socialism, the ideas? So you have to be prepared to defend your ideas, your narrative, okay? And it starts with knowing and letting people know who gets what grants for doing what research. कॉमिक्स की औकात नहीं, यूपी में गए, बंगाल में भी जाएंगे. I want to talk to you. Yeah, now we will start the discussion, okay? Will there be opposition? Unlike Bengal, but there will be. Before CPIM ever rules, I'll become the dictator of Akhand Bangla. It's going to be a CPIM in some form or the other. Let me see. Is Twitter casting till now? Yeah, it seems going well. Okay, so for those of you who want to come online, the way to do it is how to. So first tell me who wants to come online. Before that, I'll go on. Dada, have you heard, Lamb of God? What? I am offended by this question. I am offended by this question. I have been a metalhead since 2008. I have been in metal bands since 2010. What do you mean? Have you heard, Lamb of God? Okay, so yeah, no cameras, guys. Okay, अब कैसे decide करें कौन पहले आएगा? तो okay, since Honeyman is a member, we will give first preference to him because equality is a sucks. So the way to bring you on is who? Honeyman. Honeyman, I'm putting the code here. You have to type streamyard.com/this code, okay? I guess the comment is visible, right? Let's see if you can click on it and come on, okay, Honeyman. After that, we will take non-members. This is offensive to a person who composed Pathet Davi. তখন তারা নেতাজি সোশ্যালিজমটা টেনে আনবে. Yes, just copy paste the whole and pin it. Yeah. It's Honeyman, right? Okay, Honeyman is here. Wait, just let me pin this comment. अरे वो भाग रहा है. I'm trying to. Oh yeah, it's pinned. Lol. Okay, let's have him. Hello, Honeyman.
Hello.
Who is that on your DP?
That is a Buddhist sculpture, like deity.
Okay.
It is known as Mahakala, which is like a version of Shiva.
Acha. Okay. So yeah, you got 10 minutes about. So tell me what you want to say.
I wanted to ask you about the present discourse related which is on elections in Bengal, which is like what is your argument on like phase 1 and phase 2 of the elections and the low voter turnout?
I think there hasn't been low voter turnout in West Bengal, right?
Yes, in West Bengal, that is very weird, but although, yeah.
I think low voter turnouts are because BJP played that Ab Ki Baar 400 Par so well that they played that card so well. Congressi voters have just given up. Any anti-BJP voter has just given up and they have stayed home because of the insane heat. They don't find any point in trying to vote and trying to vote BJP out of power. Because let's face it, even the most anti-BJP person today also doesn't think that BJP is not going to win, right? So if everyone if there's such a big consensus, you would be stupid to hate BJP and go out to vote against BJP at this moment.
I see. And what is your opinion on the extreme and trad thing? For example, I have interacted with the extreme and trad people, and they are extreme and castes. They literally believe that the lower caste should be should not be allowed to teach. They don't even believe in democracy, rather. So
Yeah.
so
see,
that scares me. They are like
we
free riders of Hindutva.
Yeah, we say no, they are not even free riders of Hindutva. वो तो they are against Hindutva even. So the point is, we say casteist and trads to so many people who are not actually casteist and trads. Also, no, at the moment, I'm going to
Hmm,
say
that is true.
call casteist only to a person who actively believes the things you said. Okay, that is a casteist for me. But J. Sai Deepak or anyone who believes in traditions or anyone who's uh, okay, we can't go into all definitions, but unless you
Like people who
believe
believe,
that, unless you
people who
actively go out of your way to behave badly towards someone for being from a seemingly lower caste, you are not a casteist. So when I say
yes,
West Bengal is casteist, I also don't mean that Buddhadev Bhattacharya or Mamata Banerjee has ever been rude to a lower caste person just because they were lower caste. That conversation is entirely different. So there are three kinds of people. One kind of Hindutva are, let's say, the real kind of Hindutva are people who just don't think of their jati and varna anymore in any context. Okay, they have moved on from those terminologies. There is one section who believes that, yeah, I'm proud of my jati and varna, but I don't hate anyone and I don't consider anyone high or low. Okay, and there's the main differentiation that comes on is that whether casteism or bad behaviors and persecutions happened in the past or not. Even there, if you believe that bad things did not happen back then, it's not really fair to call you a casteist today because your aspirational model is still not persecuting people, because you are saying that we did not persecute people back then, which means that you are not defending persecution inherently, right? The only
yes, but
problematic
at the end
section
of the
is,
day, objectively, it is persecution, right? Like objectively, you have to say it was persecution. Like who believe that caste is a good thing and lower caste people should be not allowed to learn, etc., etc. I mean, that would
yeah, those
done
people are
harm.
not the people here, because if you believe in the persecution, because only thing we are bothered about is persecution and bad behavior. So if someone believes in those persecutions and bad behaviors, they will say that we did those things in the past as well, and they were good things to do, and we will do them again today. But that's not what
They
most
are
people are
going
saying.
to
Like
force.
people like pi Sri Guru Piyar, etc., right? They are saying that no, we didn't do bad things, which means that he is not keeping that bad behavior as an aspirational model. So a large chunk of trads are also probably not bad trads. The purely asholic trads that you are talking about, they are very statistically irrelevant.
Right. And like, don't you think the second kind of people which you mentioned who are like who have pride on Jati Varna are kind
Hmm.
of dicey because there is a thin line between Garva and Ahankar. And Ahankar can lead to like considering other people low. So the second kind of people can be dicey. Being pride of a Jati Varna can also have its negative
Hmm.
downsides.
Yeah, see, the answer lies in your question, because you said that they can be dicey and it can turn out to be problematic. But unless it does turn out to be problematic, there's no problem. I mean, there's no point, or it should not. They should not be shut up or avoided, or let's say arrested in some way. You can't do preemptive strikes. This is not that Tom Cruise's futuristic dystopian sci-fi. Okay, just because you think a person is going to commit a crime, you can't punish them beforehand. You have to be
Yeah, but
prepared. It's fair
why
that, go on.
why do we even let that happen? Like, why don't we promote like the Hindu concept that vegetarianism is good, but non-vegetarianism is also fine, not a bad thing. That is
Hmm.
a well accepted thing to have. Why can't we have the same thing with caste even? Like, we promote non-caste behavior that people should not identify with their caste and jati varna.
Yeah,
Whereas
here it.
it's fine if you do. Like
Hmm.
we promote a non-caste behavior. Like we
Yeah,
promote
here the
people that
question becomes, who is this we? Okay, are you talking about the government or you personally? Because
no,
there
like
can't
the
be any
society
other
in general,
yeah, but that
society
can't
in
happen
general.
with India. We are not uniform in anything, right? So you can
Yeah,
only
but
you
it
can
will
only call for people.
from organizations such as RSS. Like it will start
Hmm.
from organizations such as RSS.
RSS believes in everything you believe.
Yeah, so they will, in principle, go and promote these kind of values and ideas in the schools, etc., school curriculum, etc.
Yep.
In general, people would do it. That's my
Yeah, but that's already happening. No one in power today, at least, says those things, right? Or says that you must
I
be behaving badly towards any lower caste person.
mean, the
So
lower, it is right to say that because I have seen many people, not like Hinduism, but dads, like in higher positions, whether Shankaracharya, I got
yeah,
scared when he said that. Like, I got scared. Like, I have respect for him because he was Shankaracharya, but I mean, I can't agree with his views that, oh,
yeah.
it was all
Who do you think is
fine.
going to agree with Shankaracharya's views? Brahmins, right?
Brahmins, yes, and I have seen some even women who that he even talks ill about women, but I have seen women who follow them. I have seen lower caste people who follow them. That yes, he is our God. Swami, this I am not going to name him. Is our God, and he says it is right. So we would refrain from
Hmm.
doing things which upper caste do and things like that. And
तो
he has a
दैट्स अप टू देम. किसी को अगर मान लेना है कि हम तो बड़े लो कास्ट है तो उनको मानने दो, हमें क्या है.
but mainly they're I guess Brahmins and they are like Manuvat ki jai ho.
Yeah, yeah. If it is mainly Brahmins, again, it's not a problem because Brahmin population is 4.5%. Half of them are commies.
That is true. Also.
Yeah, and some of them are Hindutvadi Brahmins. So where is that low caste hating trad Brahmin population anyway? 1.5% of the entire country.
Yes, but that leads to like I try to see everything from a university lens, but sometimes I see that well there are like even now caste is probably that a person got hate because
Hmm.
he takes water from a well, but
Yeah.
so these things are totally seeped in our society. What do you think is the major role of government or the society in general, like the Hindutva
Hmm.
ideology people? Should do so that these things gets reduced like on a large scale.
कैपिटलिज्म. इंसेंटिव स्ट्रक्चर के बगैर ये नहीं होगा कभी भी. कास्टिज्म अगर वापस आना है तो उसके लिए मैसिव डी इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन लगेगा एंड इंसेंटिव स्ट्रक्चर लगेगा कि हाँ यू गेट सम बेनिफिट बाय कंसिडरिंग योर सेल्फ लो कास्ट और हाई कास्ट. दैट्स नॉट रिमोटली द सिचुएशन.
But
People who
Modi
even want to
government,
follow, people who want to even be evil Brahmin Jativadi, even they won't be able to follow that lifestyle because of capitalism.
yes, but capitalism, I mean, even BJP is quite socialistic in their economic policies. Like
Yeah,
they are a bit capitalistic, I can say,
yeah,
like
bit
very
capitalistic.
small,
Yeah,
but they are very socialist in their policies. So how do you
yeah, but
think,
they are
like,
they are
when
going
do
to
they?
go on. They are going to go on shifting to the right economically. That you are observing, right?
Yes, I do
The
think
further
so.
we
And
the further we shift
I mean,
from
personally,
shift right economically, the lesser the casteism problem is going to be.
yes, but do you think it should solely be economically done? Like, don't you think there should be any social measures taken
Social measures
for?
are already there in place. It's illegal to be a casteist. RSS and BJP is
But
taking
how
care
many
of
of it
the.
but how many of it is implemented? That is the main question, right? Like I have faced police brutality. Like, I'm 18 years old. I have faced police brutality.
You have the
Uh,
SCST Act, no?
I am not SC/ST, but
Okay,
I'm OBC. Although
okay,
whatever I do here.
okay.
So, I mean, it was like a very weird thing. Like, we parked the car to see the famous Mahishmati Kodeshwar যেখানে Mahishmati Mahal, Durga Puja Pandal, Shivbhumi,
Hmm,
and the police broke our windshield. And I
hmm.
mean, you can't break the windshield. You can tow the car, you can charge it, but you can't break the windshield. So they trashed us. Like,
That is a crime,
what?
breaking your windshield, etc.
Yes, so I mean, we
So,
questioned that you can tow our car, you can charge us, but you can't just break the windshield. So they
yeah,
said we can crush your car. So I don't know where is it written in the law.
yeah,
So they trashed us. So and
yeah,
police brutality is there, but the proper implementation of law is still not present. So even if
yeah,
there is a safety atrocities act, it doesn't work much. Yeah,
yeah.
and
That is because the
bad
police.
people Whereas bad people who misuse this SCST atrocities act more as compared to good people who are really in
Yeah,
trouble with these SCST atrocities act.
yeah. See, law and order implementation not happening is an age old problem in India. So we can talk about police reforms in that case. But you're not
Yes.
going to change anyone's minds with laws. Only thing you can do is stop them or punish them from doing some things. The
Do you
the
think
mind changing part is going to happen with debates and capitalism.
debates capitalism, and do you think like movies, because you also play, like you are a musician, you also have a role in movies. Do you think movies can promote these ideas in some ways?
Movies
Like,
have promoted these ideas forever. Even then, if there is this 1.5% of people like that, so movies can't eradicate something 100%.
I see. I,
Okay.
yeah, I had these questions. Yeah.
Okay then. Bye bye.
Okay.
Next
Bye.
guest we have is thank you for coming, Honeyman. Next we
Okay.
have that 18-year-old kid again. Hi
Yeah,
Ayush.
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So last time I talked to you, it was very enriching, sir, and I
Yeah.
enjoyed it a lot. I learned a lot basically. So and my,
Okay.
my friends watched it on. They said, "Yeah, you could have done better. You could have done better. You could have talked him well." I was like,
Hmm.
"Okay, no, I was just learning." But
Hmm.
anyways, after that, I have read a lot of things. I do have a lot
Hmm.
of questions. So like
Hmm.
15 minutes is a good time I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So, first, my question would be is na ki like as I go through the college. So there's a guy who is Ambedkarite, right? Basically Ambedkarite.
Hmm.
And when I told him that you should read Savarkar and uh, compare the striking these
Hmm.
similarities
Hmm.
in Annihilation of Caste and Essentials of Hindutva, he read
Hmm.
it. And then
Hmm.
again, he said that because Ambedkar left Hinduism,
Hmm.
and he has clearly like a very famous sentence, right? He has that I was born a Hindu, I will not die a Hindu, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Ambedkar had said this in 1935. I don't know when, but
Hmm.
yeah, he said that.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's a reference point that a lot of Ambedkarites even
Hmm.
use it. So like how to counter that kind of thing? Because
What?
Ambedkar also wrote that he also he was very as you in your video of Savarkar and Ambedkar, you clearly
Hmm.
said that Ambedkar didn't give a fuck about political correctness. He would speak
Yeah.
anything about Abrahamic religions, and he did say stuff like that Abrahamic religions are mean to the people who are not of their faith, like
Hmm.
they do consider us kafir. But
Yeah.
Hinduism is mean to the people who are of their faith, who want them to believe that there is a God, their God is real. But
Hmm.
yeah,
That is
Hinduism
not
is
a.
mean.
That is not a. There's no consensus on that. There were different socio-political, even economic situations that led to casteism, and casteism is castes are just basically status groups that have been present in all places all over the world. So we are not going to go down that debate with them, but in some situations we can. But the main point about Ambedkar not remaining Hindu is a useless point. तो वो बुद्धिस्ट बन गए थे तो तुम भी बुद्धिस्ट बनो, तो बुद्धिस्ट बन के क्या कौन सा एक्स्ट्रा झंडा गाड़ लिया? आई डोंट गेट इट. Don't remain legally Hindu. Who gives a shit? not
Yeah.
not Narendra Modi, not
Do you
Hindutva.
think that the same Buddhist movement has become too much political rather than a spiritual one?
It was political
Because
to begin with. They worship Ambedkar.
yeah,
They were
yeah,
I
exactly.
mean
Like
drowning Ambedkar's head with milk.
their whole identity is based on hating Hindus.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless
the
they take
Jai
some
Bhim ka.
action, we are not going to be able to do anything. If they stick to words, we have to stick to words.
Yeah.
And if they say that no, Hinduism is evil, you say that you show him papers, research papers that as promoted as shown by Abbas Malda here, and even I showed on my live stream that see Buddhism also has so much casteism.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
Buddhism to women is horrible too. Like in
Yeah.
Thailand, there's recently been a fight of women trying to get monkhood because male these guys they don't allow
Hmm.
them. They don't give
Hmm.
them diksha,
Okay.
and these things are problem.
Yeah.
But theirs would be their debates is that ki everything bad in India
Hmm.
is based on this oppressive caste structure, and many people buy into it. I mean, I bought into it before I
Hmm.
saw you. I saw the Indic perspective. I
Hmm.
really bought into it. It's because it do sell you victimization, right, sir? Like I'm
Yeah.
a young guy. If anyone would say you, oh, you're so oppressed, man. I'm a Dalit
Hmm.
guy. I'm a rich guy.
Hmm.
I have no relation to any caste. But if a
Hmm.
person would say, ki, oh man, you're
Yeah.
oppressed. This
Hmm.
happened to you because of casteism. I would buy
Hmm. Hmm.
into it.
Yeah.
And so I think these things make more of a,
Yeah. And
I'm
the only counter to that is
seriously.
capitalism and debate again. You can't do anything else about it, right?
But they're still like their counter would be right. I'm trying to act as a devil's advocate
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
They would because I have had these debates, and
Hmm.
I'm being very honest. I didn't
Hmm.
have those answers back then. I
Hmm.
like still I'm asking you because I want to know.
Hmm.
Their question would be na ki you the Diwali Dhanteras. I had a debate on this guy with the guy that he said na ki it's a casteist thing because you
Hmm.
go and buy it benefits the baniya.
Hmm.
It's a casteist thing. It benefits the Banya guy because most of the businesses are owned by Vaishyas.
Hmm.
And Vaishyas are modern day, Banyas, Agarwals, and all those stuff because
And
they are, I mean,
who does the Vaishya manufacture his products with whose help? Who does the
okay.
Vaishya employ?
And even
This
the
is this is
like
a commie
top
argument. This is
makers.
not even an Ambedkarite argument. Ambedkar was never a communist. This is a
But
communist
but
argument.
yeah, exactly. But in a video na, I think why commies suck up to Ambedkar so much because
Hmm.
in one of the videos he said that I think very famous interview. He said that India would do with some kind of communism because he was so much rattled by Nehru. He just
Hmm.
didn't like Nehru, and since Nehru was doing socialism, so he
Hmm.
had to oppose it. Do you think that
Hmm.
in this day and age we can criticize Ambedkar, or is he eulogized so much that we can't? What's
See,
your views on that? Like, is
the great thing
criticizing
about
someone
having such a non-uniform society as India and such a highly populated society as India is that even there can be so many people on seemingly your side with whom you can have disagreements, but at the same time you both can benefit each other's arguments. Okay, like I always say, radicals help moderates whether they want to or not, or whether moderates want the help of radicals or not. The further crazier the radical, the 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 further radical direction even a moderate can take. Okay, let's say if we didn't have absolute like crazy radical Islamofascists, we would not be happy
yeah,
with just Muslims just saying that Bharat Mata ki jai, right? That's such a high standard that a Muslim waving an Indian flag is such a gigantic achievement. Okay, because their radicals have
yeah, yeah.
set the tone or shifted the Overton window. So, uh, if someone let's say criticizes Ambedkar for not being Hindu enough, etc., they won't be relevant in academia, but they still benefit you because then you come across as the guy who doesn't criticize Ambedkar but has interesting arguments. Let's see, because the person opposite of you, on the opponent side of you, is going to not look at the guy who criticizes Ambedkar at all. They are not going to listen to that guy's arguments at all. They are going to end up listening to you because you don't criticize Ambedkar all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
everyone can have their way here.
huh, that is true. I've like Savarkar. And how do you see? I also have this one very important question. I wanted to know you because you do have studied like theology about Hinduism, right? Do
We
you
do.
think we can incorporate Dalit priests in temples?
Yeah, so, Ashok Singh's entire movement when he rejuvenated the Ram Mandir movement in the late 80s, that started with making Dalit temples only. That started with Dalit entry in temples, which was being prevented by OBCs, not even by Brahmins. So it's an absolutely legit thing to do. But where there are established temples with like fixed rules and stuff, why what's exactly the point of screwing with that? Because it's not like there's some meritocracy here anyway. It's not like you can judge who is a better priest. So have new temples, have Dalit temples, and see who goes where as a popularity contest.
Yeah. No, so this point, like a very rhetoric, right? It's a very
Hmm.
rhetorical statement they come up with.
Hmm.
If I become a Hindu, can I be a priest of Kedarnath? They would just say this. If I become a Hindu, can I be a priest of Badrinath? If I
If
become
you become
priest,
a
can I be a
communist, can you
priest?
become the head of CPIM?
Yeah, exactly.
What does that sentence mean?
If you become a communist, can Buddhadev Bhattacharya serve you a drink? No, definitely
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Yeah.
These are
No, yeah,
social
this is a good
institutions.
counter.
You can't go on top of an institution just because you claim to be part of that institution. What the fuck?
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, this point I'll use. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Any more points, Ayush?
Yeah, the same thing. One thing which I wanted to ask you is
Hmm.
that what's your views on like Periyar? Periyar is a Ambedkar on cocaine, right? He that
I have
guy took.
not yet heard any pro Periyar arguments. So, as far as I know, he's just a very evil and useless person.
Yeah, I mean, the things he had said about and things he has done are strikingly different.
Hmm.
Like he the first he openly abused Brahmins and
Hmm.
everyone, Hindus and uh,
Yeah.
he did. But his movement is probably more popular than Ambedkar's movement, and is more rooted in Tamil Nadu's culture than
Hmm.
Ambedkar's movement. Because in
Yeah.
Tamil Nadu, even the so-called upper caste, they tend to follow the what Periyar-ristic ideals, so-called Periyar-ristic ideals, like dropping the surnames and stuff. So
Hmm.
I think that I wonder how that happened. Do you have any views on that? Like,
The same way that 19th century Hindutvadi Bengal turned out to be communist. Some narratives just win at some points because of different socio-economic situations, and then they will go away sometime in the future as well. It's not an impossible thing.
and one more question, it's a small question.
Hmm.
Do you do you support the idea of dropping some lines in sacred text which talks about discrimination?
No, no, it's a part of our history. Those things are to be even proud of. That, see, we may have been evil in the past, and these may have led to evil things, and even then we are not going to do those things. That's how courageous we are. What's the point of dropping them? Because it's not like we follow everything that's in any text anyway, right? It's not like
Yeah, yeah.
just because that text has something we are going to follow it. So it's not like dropping that sentence doesn't lead to anything extra anyway. It's just some virtue signaling. Besides, there's no copyright even. You are going to drop it in your publication. Someone else is going to publish it in their publication. So if Brahmins really followed Manusmriti, I mean, they would stop being Brahmins tomorrow. They would say हम वैश्य है और बेहतर है, हमको नहीं बनना है ब्राह्मण. So who's following any text?
Mm, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank
So,
you so
yeah.
much.
Bye bye Ayush. Lots of people in line today. Okay, I need to
Yeah.
respond
Bye.
to yeah, bye bye. I need to respond to Meera Tripathi. Yeah, Meera Tripathi, you can join. We already have 5 guys in line. And someone else was asking, Avinab was asking something. Yeah, Avinab, you can join. Take care of your mic, etc. And Neenar, since I don't have any counter arguments to give against Rajaram Mohan Roy, since it's not going to be a debate, therefore, if you just want to put forth your points, you can come, but after the other people are done, because it's not a debate. If you just want to put forward the points, we will take you a little later. And I would invite you to hit me up on Twitter and tag me and stuff, or say which is your profile really, so that I can call other people to that debate. Because debating would be the only fruitful thing to do here in regards to Rajaram Mohan Roy. Okay, now Aaron Finn. Hi, Finn. Hello. Okay, maybe Finn went offline. Okay, we'll have him on later. Who is next in line? Let's see. Unknown linguist is back. Hi, linguist. कोई
Hi,
है?
how are you
हाँ,
doing?
hi. Yeah, I'm good. चलो
चलो
बोलो, जल्दी से बोलो. 10
हाँ
minutes
मैं
time है.
ठीक है
What's
आप क्या
new
कर
with
रहे
Buddhism?
Okay, so I found one thing
Hmm.
that in he is like Gautam Buddha even in Buddhist texts is called Devati Dev. So like now I'm throwing this punchline to the Jai Bhim people, and
Okay.
these people are blocking me. So,
Nice.
like so what happened is like I searched, okay, what's the meaning of Devati Dev? So on a wisdom library, as
Hmm.
per the Pali dictionary, it
Hmm.
means Devon ke Dev or God of the gods.
Hmm.
And in the Sanskrit dictionary, Monier Williams, it
Hmm.
also seems to mean God of the gods.
Hmm.
And the Monier Williams dictionary mentions three deities. One
Hmm.
is your Shiva, another
Hmm.
is Vishnu, and third one is your Shakyamuni. Shakyamuni is another name of Gautam Buddha.
Hmm.
So now I throw this punchline every time.
Hmm.
So,
Great.
anyways,
Let
so
them go
like
on blocking you. Someday they'll get tired, or
yeah,
at least feel some shame. Nice.
yeah, like so. Anyways, so I was going over their threads, and now what
Hmm.
I started seeing is like they claim every statue or every murti they find, they say that it is Buddhist, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now what I started doing is on Twitter, because most of the murtis they have a Janu. Like
Hmm.
if you
Yeah.
see these,
Hmm.
so like I tagged I didn't knew that she was a girl or whatever. So I saw,
Okay.
okay, this guy has posted the picture of Avlokiteshwar. So
Hmm.
I highlighted that. See, this guy is wearing a Janu.
Hmm.
And then another girl
Great.
replied back to me, no, 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 it's
Hmm.
not Janu, it's ornament.
Okay.
Then I quoted her. Then I quoted my friend who has researched on that topic, that
Hmm.
it's actually written Yagyapavit in Sanskrit. So I quoted her back. Then she replied back to me. I will read what she
Hmm.
wrote to me.
Hmm.
Dude, bro
Nice.
thinks that it is genuine on Buddhist idols. Dude, bro does
Yeah.
not don't know how female deities are also shown wearing the same. As I
Yeah.
said, there was a brain cell, there was a brain cell in his head, it would be lonely. मतलब
Yeah.
उनके पास आर्ग्यूमेंट नहीं है काउंटर
Yeah. Nice.
कि now they have like I they were saying कि and then another guy, I will tell you, I'm just recalling whatever happened with me on Twitter these days. So
Hmm.
another guy, so he was saying Ambedkar taught the way of Buddhism to us. I
Hmm.
quoted him with that same punchline. But this chicks say that he is Devati Dev, and I
Hmm.
think somebody like I think I'm forgetting the name of that person who called him Devati Dev in front of him, and
Hmm.
Buddha accepted
Okay.
that I am Devati Dev.
Okay. Nice.
So now I wrote that thread, and like
Hmm.
that person blocked me instantly. And then with my another ID, I asked him again.
Hmm.
This time he didn't. So like I was like they stopped replying back to me right now.
Take
And
keep
then
note of all the people who block you. Okay. These are your scorecards. Okay. How many people you made them block you? These should be your victory charts.
yeah, and then I have even pointed this, like I told you that Gautam Buddha is an avatar in some of the Puranas, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I saw, like I tagged some even trads, even
Hmm.
they got confused now.
Nice.
like uh, like he one of the guy, I won't name him,
Hmm.
he told me, even
Hmm.
if it is written in the Puranas,
Hmm.
what's the point of praising him? Because
Hmm.
in actually, I will read the line from Padma Puran. Wait a second. That
Hmm.
somewhere I will read that thing.
Hmm.
Just a second. I'm opening Vishnu Sahasranama Padma Puran. Just a sec.
हाँ हाँ जल्दी जल्दी बहुत लोग लाइन पे
This
है
is
अभी भी
yeah, 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 just a second. I
हम्म
have found it. Yes.
हम्म
So like उसमें उसके उसमें just दो सेकेंड.
हम्म
तो उसमें क्या है कि he is Buddha, the
हम्म
enlightened, he has won over through meditation the god of all gods. यहाँ पे भी देवती देव आ गया, ठीक.
हम्म
फिर उसके बाद है, he is without a weapon, he conquered the world, he is Sridhar, he deludes the wicked, he has
हम्म
outcast the demons from the Vedic code, he has preserved the meaning of the Vedas and the sacred texts. ठीक, तो
हम्म
यहाँ पे क्या आ गया कि he has
हम्म
preserved the meanings of the Vedas and the sacred texts. अब
हम्म
ये लोग मेरे को काउंटर देते हैं कि
हम्म
बुद्धा हैज रिजेक्टेड द वेदास, तो हिंदू टेक्स्ट के अनुसार तो नहीं हुआ है.
हम्म
हिंदू टेक्स्ट के अनुसार नहीं हुआ.
या
फिर दे नाउ दे आर देमसेल्व्स कंफ्यूज्ड.
या नाइस गुड keep them
एनीवेज,
confused
या,
okay linguist thanks for joining bye bye
यू विल,
next we have
बाय.
bye bye agnostic observer who is agnostic observer hi what are you
Hi,
observing
I am observing that you are doing good.
okay
If you can observe my voice and understand who I am, that would be very good.
yeah yeah
Got it?
yeah
So, just what the nasty. Have you got it,
Yeah, I read the
Kushal
introduction.
Mehra?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just got it today, so we'll
Hmm.
start reading. Yavat
Hmm.
Jivet Sukham Jivet
Yeah.
Rinam Kritva Kritam Privet. So
Hmm.
वही देखते हैं क्या होता है
Yeah.
इसका,
Yeah.
पूरा पढ़ते हैं.
Yeah.
और बाकी I think the streams that we do with Srijit uh,
Hmm.
is very good. It
Hmm.
opened my eyes a lot about
Yeah. I think
Rabindranath
Srijit
Tagore
Datto
and
is
Ramkrishna.
basically what Sanjeev Sanyal did for the entire country. Srijit Datto is going to do that for Bengal. I'm very
Bengal.
much looking forward to his book Agni Yuga.
That's true. That's true. It's going to be
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
So, uh, so that's the things that I was thinking. Just saw you interacting with people, so just came on.
Okay.
So,
Okay then.
Rajan,
Yeah.
do you have any questions or anything that you want to discuss about this
Uh,
topic?
Today I won't be able to take those things up because so I already can see five more
Okay.
people lined up. So we need to go through this
Okay.
quickly today.
One thing I just remembered about unknown linguist, what he mentioned about Buddha.
Hmm.
One thing is that remember that Buddha in Hindu Puranas is not only Gautama Buddha. There are many
Yeah.
Buddhas that come into place, and
Hmm.
uh, it is said that Buddha actually
Hmm.
taught the Buddha form of Buddhist form of worship to the
Hmm.
Asuras or Rakshasas, so
Hmm.
they don't follow the Vedic things. So that's the narrative. Otherwise,
Hmm.
um, Buddha himself, the Gautam that we know
Hmm.
as, he was through and through Hindu, if you know. Means
Hmm.
his lineage itself is Sakya.
Okay.
Remember,
Yeah. Yeah.
now Sakya is an upper branch of Shakra.
Hmm.
Means Sakya.
Hmm.
It denotes that he is a direct lineage of Devraj Indra.
Hmm.
Shak, Shakra is the name of Devraj Indra.
Hmm. Right.
So it's not Indra is his title, but the actual name is Shakra. So
Okay.
his lineage comes through Sakyamuni Gautam and
Okay.
all that. So
Okay.
that's there.
Okay.
And another thing that one person mentioned that temple entry about scheduled caste and lower caste.
Hmm.
Always remember that temples are not meant for castes. Temples are generally social constructs. It has always been.
Hmm.
Temple of a kula, temple of a person is your griha mandir that we call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Temple of a kula devta
Hmm.
ka jo mandir hota hai, that. Now,
Hmm.
if the kula is Shudra, do
Hmm.
you think the temple will not permit Shudras to enter? It's not
No.
that.
Hmm.
Ideally, according to the text that I have gone through or I have discussed with people, it has
Hmm.
always been that the
Hmm.
temples were open to a particular kula at most of the time. Now,
Hmm.
temples like Ram Mandir, which is a Rashtriya Mandir, that the
Hmm.
central government has put in some kind of effort to construct
Yeah.
or authorize
Right.
the
Right.
construction
Yeah.
of that mandir.
Yeah.
It is for the entire Rashtra.
Hmm.
Now, if you say who is going to worship there, only the Brahmin caste. Now you have to ask the question: who is Brahmin?
Yeah.
Manusmriti. If
End
you
of story.
read
ওটা
Manusmriti,
জিজ্ঞেস করলেই তো খেলা শেষ.
exactly means then Vishwamitra was not a Brahmin. Satyakama Javali was the son of a Dasi who slept
Hmm.
around with everyone.
Hmm.
Jabali.
Hmm.
He was it means all the Shaiva Parampara people that you see, they wear Rudraksha and Tripunda, right? That
Hmm.
Bhashma that they ওরা যে ভস্য ধারণ করে
Hmm.
মাথায় বুকে হাতে যে তিনটে ভস্যের রেখা দিয়ে যে
English.
ত্রিপুণ্ড
English.
ধারণ করেন, right?
English. English.
The
Right.
tripundas they
Hmm.
carry with them
Hmm.
means wear the
Hmm.
ashes, sacred
Hmm.
ashes that they wear. The
Hmm.
ritualistic tradition comes from the
Hmm.
Bhashma Upanishad written by Javali. It's called Japal Bhashma Upanishad,
Okay.
Japal Rudraksha Upanishad. Now
I
that
see.
he's a person who was a son of a dasi, means obviously a shudra, and
Hmm.
also whose father was not known. So his gotra
Okay.
is not known.
Okay.
Gautama Rishi took him as a disciple and gave him all the knowledge of the Vedas, and he comes to be the one of the main
Okay.
Amatya of Dasaratha and argues with Rama when he's going to Ayodhya that whether Rama should go to Ayodhya. When he's going to Banavasa at the end of
Hmm.
Ayodhya Kand, whether
Hmm.
he should go, Ram should go to Ayodhya
Hmm.
for fulfillment of Pitra Vakya, or he should remain as a king to uphold the Raj Dharma that he is. So
Hmm.
he's that kind of a person. So throw that away
Hmm.
too.
Hmm.
And also, generally, you will see that in terms of talking about dharma, people always quote the 10 lakshanas, the tenfold
Yeah.
qualities of dharma.
Hmm.
If you read the Manusmriti, I'm giving you chapter and verse of that. It's
Hmm.
8th chapter,
Hmm.
Vanaprastha
Hmm.
Parva. In
Hmm.
that, 92nd sloka talks about the tenfold dharma. The Dhriti
Acha.
Shama
Yeah. Yeah.
Damasteyam Shaucham Indriya Nigraha. That
Yeah.
line is 92nd. Somewhere you may
Hmm.
find in 96 because some
Hmm.
slokas are not acceptable in some traditions, so they remove
Acha.
in some editions and some
Hmm.
editions add them. So
Hmm.
92nd after 1992 or 92nd you will find it.
Okay.
91st
Hmm.
sloka clearly tells that a person, a dvija of
Hmm.
dvija in his chatur asana in his jivana, in the sense brahmacharya, gardhastha, mantrasya, and sannyas should
Hmm.
follow the tenfold dharma or
Hmm.
dharma with 10 lakshanas. And
Hmm.
the 93rd clearly mentions that the Brahman who follows these 10 lakshanas is the
Hmm.
greatest of the Brahman.
Hmm.
So why are you imposing that on everyone? And
Hmm.
who's in today's time,
Hmm.
which Brahman has
Yeah.
those tenfold lakshanas?
Yeah.
Where is that qualification criteria imposed?
Hmm.
So you
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
ask this kind means we need to ask this kind of questions to the society that your
Yeah.
text is saying these things,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah. Okay, agnostic.
these are the some things.
We
Yeah,
have 6, 7 people in line. So,
sure.
so we will interact with you again in the next audience interaction live stream. Thank you for
End
joining
of.
us.
Yeah,
Bye bye.
sure. But
Next we have Gautam Varun. Hello, Gautam.
Hello,
Are you
sir.
online? Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. I want to discuss about the language issue or language politics in India.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Mm. Can you wait a second, sir? First time discussing. So, what is your opinion on the language, national language of India? Do you think there should be any national language, or do you think like Hindi or Sanskrit can do that job, or do you think
Hmm.
English will be good enough?
Hmm. See, I think day by day the need for an official national language is getting diluted because AI is going to translate everything in real time. The time for national language is gone. If we could have done, we should have done long time back. So Hindi is the by default the unofficial national language anyway because most people watch Hindi movies, so everyone knows Hindi. You can't change that. You can't force people to not watch Bollywood movies, and you can't force people to forget Hindi. People when they go to a different state, the first thing they are going to speak in is Hindi anyway. And if people come from a lower class or lower middle class background, who can't afford English medium education, if they go as laborers to any other state, they're absolutely going to speak Hindi. You can't stop these things anyway. So regardless of whether you declare Hindi an official language or not, Hindi is the default unofficial national language anyway. So as for which language should be given preference, there's no point having a debate because most of India's languages come from a Sanskrit root. As for having Sanskrit as a official language, that can be done as a message sort of a thing and can really unite the entire country because everyone can understand most words of Sanskrit. But the only problem is we can't do it right now. We'll need a 10-15 year window when let's say if a government starts the procedures that Sanskrit education, Sanskrit learning becomes compulsory, and then they can go up to like, let's say, graduation, master's level. Then then at that point we have an entire generation of people who are fluent in Sanskrit. Then we can think of having Sanskrit as a official national language. Before that we can't do that, of course, but having Sanskrit as a national language would be great, because all our ancient texts would be accessible to us. At the moment it's not accessible to us, and even those which are accessible to us, there are debates between all publications. Even Gita Press version, Ramakrishna Mission version, then ISKCON version, everyone is debating everyone. There's no consensus on so many things in Sanskrit. So unless those things get settled between Sanskrit scholars, unless some standardization happens that if it is a cup, this means a cup, this does not mean a horse in any way, in any interpretation by any publication, after those things are sorted out, then we can have full on Sanskrit education, and then we can have a Sanskrit official language someday.
But don't you think will take quite time to reach India, because we don't have enough
Before
money
that, it's
to
all
invest?
Hindi. Before that, it's Hindi anyway, whether we have an official language or not.
I think English is the unofficial language of India. Don't you think so?
For my class, obviously, but not for the Bengali laborers going to work in Karnataka or Gujarat, right?
But still, even English does the same job, right? In Hyderabad, there are many people who come from Kolkata or Bihar or any Maharashtra. Even English is used. But
they are not.
English
But they are not the labor class. What's the labor class going to do? They are the most in population. They don't know any English.
Okay, but I have another counter is that English is what means. Wait a minute, sir.
Okay.
English goes way beyond Hindi, because we have it in as medium of language as education and higher education, because national language is meant to be like uniting in not just in speaking but also in education and jobs, etc.
But no one knows it. It doesn't matter what the law says.
But it's still happening, right?
Which labor class person knows English? How are they going to learn English?
Oh, I mean to say that English is official or unofficial language as a national language in India, because even if you buy some clothes or electricity bill, you get in English language. Are you saying that even labor class understands that, but we still get it? Why not in their Hindi or Telugu language or other language?
Yeah, they don't understand what's written in those things, right? They go to someone else for those things to be filled up.
But still,
or
no one.
Even an illiterate person can read what's written on the currency notes. It's like that. They have just mugged up that part. They can't converse in those things. A national language will be for conversing as well.
But I think investing in education, like education and employment, can boost it as national language for Hindi. Even for Sanskrit, I think it should be reformed. I don't think anyone talks about Sanskrit, reforming Sanskrit language.
First we need standardization. After standardization, we can think of reform. Right now, though, there is so much debate between what one word means even. First of all, that has to go.
Yes. And how do you think the social sciences should be reformed, in the sense that it should reflect the Indian values and that? Can you explain
we can't
do that?
Yeah, so the government has to put non-commies in positions of power first and foremost, or as Raminiranjan Desai ji was saying in my podcast, that even the businessmen, we have to keep pestering them on social media with mails, etc., to fund even non-communists. At the moment, they are funding only communist research.
Yeah, I think
funding will take place. Funding will handle everything.
Yeah, I think only Rajiv Malhotra is trying to do something to
Hmm.
social science. In his
Yeah.
previous interview with P. Gurus 3 days ago, he talks about that.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
it will start. It should start from a local level, like individual levels, like how
Yeah.
Rajiv Malhotra is doing. Then over the
Yeah.
time, they can be little by little incorporated. Even communism started like that, if I'm not wrong.
Hmm. If the syllabus changes and if the funding for let's say researching how great the Gita was happens, even communists are going to take up that research because communists don't want to remain poor.
Yes.
Funding is everything.
Hmm. I have one more last question.
Okay.
Hmm. Wait a minute. Forgot.
Acha. Or you can come back later if you remember the question. We have more people waiting, so we need to hurry up.
Okay.
Okay, Gautam.
Okay, sir. Next year.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. We have with us now Aaron Finn.
হাই হ্যালো
Hi,
শোনা
Aaron.
যাচ্ছে শোনা যাচ্ছে
Yes, yes, yes.
ও
You
থ্যাংক গড
you can speak English, right?
ইয়া হ্যাঁ
Okay,
না
okay.
ওটা
Yeah.
কনফার্ম করে নিতাম এনিওয়ে
Okay. Yeah.
a couple of things so the previous guest what was his name something Varun right
Yeah, yeah.
uh, the issue is what he was saying that in Hyderabad or in Bangalore or in Chennai, people from Western India, Northern India, or Eastern India who goes there, he's mainly talking about people who work in IT. IT
That's right.
professionals are not exactly the proletariat masses, to use Marxist term. They are the petit bourgeois of India. They are the middle class. They are the essentially the coolies of global markets. কোডিং সিপা এখানে হেসে লাভ নেই কেন যে আমি নিজেও ওই সব করি আমি বাংলার ছেলে কিন্তু দক্ষিণ ভারতে থাকি একটা শহরে আই এম নট টেলিং দ্য নেম অফ দ্য সিটি আইটি সিটি আই হোপ ইউ আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড উইচ সিটি আই এম টকিং অ্যাবাউট
Hmm.
এখানে প্রচুর আতেল মাল এরকম দেখা যায় কলকাতা থেকে পালিয়ে বিভিন্ন
English,
দুর্গাপুর
English,
সরি
English.
সরি সরি bad habit and
Yeah.
anyway so that's one thing so you cannot say that you want to make a absolute foreign language which does not have any association with your culture. Well, that is
What
a
do you?
level that
But he gave one interesting counter argument. What do you think of it? That after all the electricity bill, etc., all the formalities, they are happening in English anyway. So that kind of paves the way for official English language as official national language. Yeah.
there is a reason for that because the Indian corporate houses do not have an identity of their own. They copy and lard what the English speaking world does. And I
Yeah.
say the English speaking because it's not even all the West. Because you look at German companies, you look
Yeah.
at something like SAP. SAP is almost entirely written in the German language. Even their absolute coded words are written in German language, which if you translate into the English language, it would make any sense. So you look at China, they do most of their things
Yeah.
in manufacturing. Soviet
Yeah.
Union became an industrial powerhouse not by LARPing as an Anglo, not by LARPing in the English
Yeah.
language. They did everything in their own Slavic language.
Yeah.
You have the French who does everything in the French language. You have the Japanese who were going to topple the US economy till 2005. They were having their massive growth and they were doing
Yeah.
everything in the Japanese language.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this has to be part of the India's deracinated bourgeois elite enos, I would say, which does not have any association with their culture, with their identity, and that is why they are Hinos, Hindus in name only. I really don't consider them to be our quote unquote amader lo, apna nahi hai. They're not. So that's the issue. That is why you find electricity boards, you find banks, even a national bank like a SBI or a RBI posting
Yeah.
things in English. That is why you find courthouses in laws using Latin terms, using English words, using English verbs. So Chandrachud copying, pasting certain West thing that Rajiv Malhotra is shouting that look,
Yeah.
wokeism is coming into India. Wokeism is
Yeah.
coming. But wokeism was always going to come into India because the elite, the bourgeois elite of India does not have their own identity. They are just what they call themselves the brown sahibs. They're waiting for their white master to once again come back and like good boys, they are going to go Malik, आपके लिए इतना तो कर लिया है, अब तो कुछ हमें दे दो. They're going to just do this. This is why. So what you said, I actually agree with you. What people mostly does, so even here, what the mostly the prolete class will do, even when they go to banks, they will ask someone like me, who
Yeah.
is clearly a IT worker. You can identify us because we have the modern day chains of slavery around our neck. I know I'm speaking in a communist language, হিন্দুত্ববাদী হয়েও কিন্তু ওই বাঙালি পরিবার তো একটু মার্কসিস্ট একটু আছে, ঠিক আছে? You can identify a IT work. So they would ask people like us, okay, what is written here? How do I fill this? What details do I fill here and there? Mr. Gautam, your previous guest, must know that there is a reason that thumbprints are a thing, because not even everyone can sign their signature.
Yeah.
And it is precisely because of this.
Yeah.
Because the thing, what everyone thinks is that English is the common language. English is not the common language. Whether we like it or not, Hindi, this hat infested Hindi, not even pure Hindi, the mlechafied Hindi, is ironically the lingua franca of India. Whether you like it or not, it is. And I will say something. এখানে কোনো কাংলা পক্ষর মেম্বার থাকলে তাকে বলি, তোমরা যতই চিৎকার করো বাংলা বাংলা বাংলা, একটা জিনিস মনে রাখবে, আমাদের এইখানে বেঙ্গালোরে বাঙালিরাই কিন্তু
English বাংলা পক্ষ understands English, say in English only.
Sorry. So, to the Kangla Dassu members, you can shout Bangla Pokho all you want. Bengalis themselves, even from your Balkata, forget about amader less developed parts of তোমরা আমাদের কি বলে জানি, chumpa, uncultured people outside of Kolkata. Anyway, even from your Balkata elites, even when their sons, their daughters comes here to Hyderabad or to Bangalore or to Chennai, while they will speak English in their offices and speak Bengali to their family members, when they go outside and speak to the common sabzi wala, common auto wala, common bus wala, they would directly say, Hindi kyun nahi bol rahe ho? Speak in Hindi. They themselves becomes a Hindi imperialist. I don't know what kind of bubble do you people live in that you do not know actual ground reality. And this is not people of Bihar, UP doing. This is people from Bengal who are doing. This is people from Maharashtra doing. This is people from Punjab who are doing. This is people from Haryana doing, from Assam who are doing. And even to the DMK member, even your precious little people from Tamil Nadu are doing the same thing in Bangalore. They do not want to speak the local Kannada language. They want to either speak Tamil or they want to speak Hindi. It's an absolute political meme that you people do, and that you do not understand what is the in general lingua franca of India. Even like I personally, I'll give you a short example. I personally went to a trip to Manipur starting of this year. Udhar bhi, for the hotel walas, the local people, they perfectly understand Hindi. They perfectly understand Hindi. Whether you like it or not, Hindi has become the lingua franca of India. And the good thing that I will admire about the Hindi speaker is the Hindi poets have tried their level best to remove fat from their language. The Farsi, Arabic, Turkic influence in the language, they themselves have tried. So from Munshi Premchand to others, to Harishchandra Das, they have tried to remove all these foreign influences in their language, which unfortunately Bengalis have not done, which unfortunately Telugu speakers have not done, which unfortunately Maratha speakers have not done.
Okay.
This is a common fact.
Everything happens with political and economic power. The only reason, it's not like we are saying that it's a great thing that Hindi has become the unofficial language of India. We are saying it has happened because of Bollywood. Bollywood picked it up because Congress's official policy, it's not, I guess, an official policy, but with that Zahir Khan or Zahir A Khan, that guy from Congress, communist Muslim leader, it was his policy, and everyone in Congress liked it, that Hindi is what is going to unite Hindus and Muslims. This fake half Hindi. So that is why it has become, now you can't, the rules have been set. You can't make up your own rules in the game now. You have to play by the rules, then win it, then you can change the rules. It is what it is now. You have to accept it.
And one more thing, the first guy that came here, he was talking about certain even non-Brahmins liking the Manusmriti-Vadi system. The issue is, and the second guy who was talking about trads and other things who are castes and whatnot, the issue is all of this comes because most Hindus, what they follow are household traditions. Most Hindus are uninitiated people,
Yeah.
you will not find these things once they take initiation. So I'll give you an example.
Acha.
It does not, because I traditionally, I have a long history from Bengal, as you can understand. So in Bengal there is a Vaishnava sect. I don't know those
Yeah.
who do not know, perhaps it's called the Gaudiya Vaishnava. So
Yeah.
they come under the lineage of the Madhvas, and then
Okay.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after him the 12 Goswamis created what is called the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, or the Golden Vaishnava system, which is essentially Bengali Vaishnavism.
Okay.
So there, once you take initiation, it does not matter whether you were born to a Brahmin father or you ISKCON. Most of the ISKCON members are
Yeah.
historically Mlechas. They're
Yeah.
not even
Okay.
born to Hindu fathers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
However, they have the same right under the parampara. So that's the issue. If, ironically, if you want to get rid of the quote unquote casteism in society, the Jativad, you actually need to make Hindus follow Hinduism and get them initiated into any of the proper Vedic paramparas. It does not have to be Vaishnavism, it can be even
Yeah.
what the guy was saying, Smartas. Even for the Puri Shankaracharyas, who is traditionally called the guru of the trads, casteist guru, whatnot. Even under him, it does not matter whether you have a Brahmin father, a Shudra father, or you have a Mlecha father and mother. Once you take Diksha, once you are initiated
I
into
see.
the system, they all become your Guru Bhai. And then you
I see.
cannot, it's almost like uh, urge inside you that you cannot discriminate, you have to look after them because they are
So-
considered part of your
So
family.
when the bad behaviors and persecutions did happen, then was it a fight between different sampradayas and different dikshas then? Because back then everyone used to be initiated. Then why did the persecutions happen?
No. That's a different. So this is the thing. Everyone considers the past to be some kind of golden thing.
Yeah.
It was never that. It was Hinduism has always been the largest unorganized religion on the planet.
Yeah.
Parts of Hinduism was always organized. So to people who say Hinduism is absolutely organized, they are wrong. Because all the matthas, all the paramparas, the Guru Shishya paramparas, they are absolutely organized and behave like an organized religion does. They have the strict orders, they have the strict scriptures even. So I'll give you a short example. And not all Hindu scriptures belong to all Hindus. So for example, a Vaishnava would consider the Srimad Bhagavatam as the Bhagavad Purana. However, to a Shakta, the Kalika Puran or the other Devi Purana would be the Bhagavad Purana.
I see.
So even there's a difference in that. So, so for example, Shaivas will consider, yes, the Vedas are good, cool, and whatnot, but because this is Kali Yuga, that is why the Shaiva Agamas are the supreme scripture to be followed in this Yuga. And even this statement is not for all Shaivas. This is particularly for Lingayats or Tamil Shaivites, because South Shaivites, Kashmiri Shaivites, and Bengali Shaivites, they have other issues. Then, other than that, there are again a sets of Aghoras also. So, udhar case kuch alag hi hai. So even then there is, so even the past, you cannot say that every Hindu used to live under an ashrama of some guru. It was never like that. So it was always like someone in your ancient patrilineal lineage took initiation, went outside of the ashram, started to live his life, and started to pass down what he learned from his guru to his sons, to his daughters, and to his sons and sons. And like this, it continues. And then after, like, say, 5-6 generation, when you lose touch, you again go and take another initiation. This is always how Hinduism has worked. So you cannot say past mein jab aise hua tha, then why it happened. It was always, Hinduism was always the largest organized and unorganized religion, and this will always remain. Now the point is, if you actually want to get rid of casteism, so I'll give you one example. In ISKCON, even people who come from Brahmin fathers, they will never discriminate against Malecha, who have become now a Vaishnava. And because they are looking for actual dedication in bhakti, how much yoga you are actually doing, how much good for society you are actually doing. Tabhi there is an actual proper identity with your fellow being. This is what Ambedkar actually missed. Ambedkar actually missed how internally the organized sector of Hinduism works, the organized nodes of Hinduism work. He looked at merely the unorganized portions of Hinduism and called it a day. That is not how it works. You need to look at these things also.
Hmm.
And
Interesting.
আমি মেনলি এখানে এলাম একটা বইয়ের সাজেশন দিতে.
Hmm.
Perhaps Niranjan, you can read it in your personal when you are free and when you're not free. So people have often asked that. So these are questions that are asked by Arya Samaj members actually.
Okay.
So what has the traditional Mattha gurus done when all of the foreign militia forces were attacking the sacred geography? Why hasn't a single Shankaracharya, Vaishnavacharya, Shaivacharya stood up and wrote the history against militia? So this is what Rajiv Malhotra said when he said, you know the issue with Sringeri Math and Rajiv Malhotra, right?
Hmm.
That Sringeri Math was about to give a seat to Harvard University, and there were some anti-Hindu forces that was, and Rajiv Malhotra fought against this, right? You know this, right?
Okay. No.
Okay. Well, just Google up for Rajiv Malhotra and Sringeri Math, and you will get the entire thing. So even some of our mathas have, unfortunately, I do not want to do Guru Ninda, but has been filled with fools who call themselves gurus. I am sorry to say, because there is a book you people should go read. It is A.K. Shastri's Record of Sringeri Mattha. This was published 2009 or 10, something around that period. So you will be actually shocked that the priest of Sringeri Mathas were actually preparing Raja Tilak and giving blessings to Tipu Sultan when he was attacking other Hindus. You would be shocked, and this is why today Ramakrishna Mission behaves the way Ramakrishna Mission behaves. This is why a lot of Mathas behave the way they behave, because the Mathas themselves have lost Shatru both. People forget this. Like, if you want to actually,
it's all incentive structures in the end.
Exactly, that book that you're holding. If you actually want to do good for Hindutva, you need people who actually understand polemics of the other side, who wants to destroy you, who wants your children, your grandchildren to not have your identity, who do not want your children and grandchildren to celebrate Holi, Diwali the way you celebrate, as Raja Ram's coming back to Ayodhya, as Krishna liberating, destroying Narakasur. Who do not want to, who wants to make Durga Puja as merely Durgotsav, cultural festival, has nothing to do with Hinduism. Who wants to replace Onam as same thing? Cultural festivals are what Malayalis, has nothing to do with Hinduism. Again, people who say Shaivism has nothing to do with Hinduism. Tamils, Cholas, Vaishya, does not make any sense. So if you actually want to help Hindutva, political Hindutva is necessary, but more than that, a societal Hindutva is necessary. Fix your families, look after the TFR. These things are more important. Because I'll tell you one thing, philosophy, ye sab chalega. But the issue is, agar society gaya, your high-end philosophy will not matter. Society matters more than, yes, I know, by saying this, you can call me, oh, this guy must be a hidden Marxist. That is why he's talking about this society and nonsense. No, Marxists are correct where they are correct. Society for the Hindu should matter more. You should look after your society. That is why every Hindu, so I'm in my mid-20s, going to my 30s, in that range, 25 to 30 range. Every Hindu I find who honestly wants to work for Hindutva, who says, I want to join the RSS, I want to work for BJP, I said, no. BJP should not be your target, RSS should not be your target. Your target should be Hinduism. You should take initiation in a Mattha and work for that. Take care of your society, take care of that Mattha, because only if those survives, your children's identity will survive. Because I'll tell you a short example. आज जो लोग फॉरेन जाना चाहते हैं, people, those of you go outside. I don't have anything against people who go outside. Just because I have a good job and I will settle in town in India, I'm not against Hindus in diaspora. But the issue is those Hindus who are in diaspora, in 3-4 generations time, in just 3-4 generations time, you are going to get smashed in with everyone there. You're going to become a gray man. You're not going to have your identity anymore. Unless you associate with organizations such as, so I don't know, people like these are the internet trans who constantly read about the BAPS organization, about ISKCON organization. They are the only ones. So when Blechas wanted to take over one of our sacred spots in Bangladesh, the Chandana Devi Mandir,
Yeah.
Who was the
ISKCON.
one who ISKCON?
Yeah.
Even so, the Kangladasyu Pokhos who call themselves Shaktas and says that vegetarianism is North Indian propaganda. They forget that to protect the Shakta side, it was the vegetarian ISKCON, that too ISKCON, who was there protecting it. So
Yeah.
this thing you have to understand. Hindu hai to bandhu hai. Hindu nahi hai to bandhu nahi hai. This thing
Yeah.
you people have to understand. And as for this, all of this regional fight, the linguistic fight, these all remains because bhai Hindu hai to mumkin hai. Because if you're not Hindu, these things will not matter. Yes, they cannot properly destroy it because this is part of Sanatana Dharma. So just like Islam could not eradicate the tribal identities, even although theologically Islam and Christianity both are against tribal identity. Jesus Christ says in the Bible that now there is no difference between you Greeks and you Jews and you Romans and this and that. However, even today there is a difference between Greeks and Romans and Jews and everything. So even in Islam, when Muhammad says that there is no
Yeah,
difference between,
now we need to end this, okay? Now
yeah,
7-8 people are waiting in line. Okay? We'll
exactly.
take it up
So
the next day again.
yeah, sure. All right, bye, man.
Thank you for joining, Aaron.
Yeah, sure.
Bye. Okay, Honeyman and Gautam Varun, we will take you after we are done with those people who have not come on even once. Okay, since you are coming on the second time, we will take you a little later. Okay, stay online. Okay, Aaron is done now. Avinab, are you online? Hello, Avinab.
Hello.
I don't think Avinab is online at the
Hello,
moment.
am I audible?
Let's see. Yeah, Avinab is here. Yeah, hi Avinab.
Hi, am I audible?
Yeah, we could hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with Ni Hao, since I'm a Chinese.
Yeah. Your volume is very low. Do something about it.
Hello.
Yeah. Say. Hello.
Is it all right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I
Hello?
have some blunt
Yeah.
questions
Say.
to throw. Hello. I have some blunt questions to throw at you, so I don't think it will take a lot of time. So let me start with Ni Hao first, since I'm a Chinese, So, and my first question is, so I have a few questions regarding the economics side of our country and especially our state Bengal. So my first question will be, how do you see this welfarism politics? What is the future of this welfarism politics? Like, it seems like the opposition now has set the rules, and BJP now has to play within the rules of the game. So, how do you see that featuring in the future?
I think I could talk about that a little with more surety after 2000, after 4 June, after BJP comes to power once again, because BJP will keep giving out Ladli Behna and stuff, but on the side Modi will keep doing a bit of capitalism, bit of privatization and those things as well. So after we see if they do come to power, then we will see at the end of these next 5 years, we'll see what the country is like and how they are accepting these tweaks in privatization and private and capitalism, and maybe there's some decrease in welfare gradually in the next 5 years. Then we'll see if that's working out, how are people reacting to it. After those things we can talk about this surely. My hunch is that it's all going in great directions, because there is so much global online let's say discourse against communism and freebies now, which there wasn't at all up until like 2013-14. Now the path for commies is not going to be that smooth and easy anymore. Okay, it was easy. They were basically giving goals without any goalkeeper for 50-60 years. That's not going to be the case anymore, because not only even in India we have pro free market people, we have libertarians who think BJP, they are anti BJP because they think BJP is a far left party. These kinds of thoughts and these kinds of people the numbers of these kinds of people are going on increasing. Plus online there's a global movement against commies. There's Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, Thomas Sowell is becoming viral. So many black conservatives are coming up in USA in the last 2-3 years since Corona, because of Thomas Sowell becoming so popular in he's 94 years old now. Now Thomas Sowell is becoming popular after writing for these things about 70, 80 years. I mean 60 years. Okay, so the global movement plus India going gradually towards capitalism, at the same time being popular, at the same time being successful, at the same time being prosperous, at the same time BJP winning. All these are going to be conversations and discourses and, let's say, people's conclusions against the ideas of socialism and communism. So I think we are in good times.
Okay. And I was asking this question mainly because when I see the Congress manifesto, it is scary because uh, like whatever they have promised, it will take 16 lakh crore rupees.
No, Congress manifesto should not be taken seriously. Congress knows they are not coming to power. That's why they put up that manifesto. No, they thought let's just have fun with this. We have nothing to lose. Let's just pick up more friends. If we say these things, we'll have at least more friends and some young people will join. Let's just have fun with that only.
And another question, which is a follow-up to this, is that like if I see in the context of Bengal, like the people who are taking the Lokri Bhandar and those kind of bhatas and everything. So how do you convince them that this is wrong for the country's economy? Like it is hindering the growth of our country. How do you convince them? Because
No,
when I see that
we can't
nobody
convince
has
them.
done anything for them through 75 years.
Yeah, we can't convince them. It's not about convincing them. It's about convincing people who support these policies. They were in a dilapidated condition without Lokir Bhandar. They are in a dilapidated condition even with Lokir Bhandar. So when prosperity happens and they get jobs instead of Lokir Bhandar, the government has to do it. We don't need to go around now going around with capitalism or libertarian awareness campaigns in the villages of Sandesh Khali.
Okay. And the other thing is that like we were discussing in the beginning of this podcast, when if BJP comes to power in Bengal, the main opposition is likely to be the left, the CPIM, and a little bit of, I think, Congress will rise a little bit. So
No matter
without
what the party,
backup of
communism
that
and socialism
academia-
is going to be the main opponent ideologically.
Yes. I also believe that. And like BJP don't have that academia backup in, at least in Bengal, they don't have anything at all. So how
Yeah.
do you think they can counter these narratives, these left-wing narratives that are gonna come with BJP's power? So I think it's gonna be a very difficult uphill task for them to counter these narratives. What do you think?
Yeah, of course. First of all, BJP needs to realize that these things need to be countered. I don't think most BJP people, BJP supporters even know where the problem lies. Otherwise, people wouldn't go around saying that debates are useless and pointless. If people who are debating all day on Twitter don't know that debates are important, what is BJP going to do? So they are going to prioritize law and order. They are going to prioritize industry, etc. And people who are doing things on their own, they are going to have a bigger voice. They are going to feel a little safer, and they are going to write books, etc. And the algorithm is going to boost a lot of things. I have a hunch that BJP might tweak our First Amendment, which is the not having the right to freedom of speech, etc. I think BJP is going to go towards free speech. I'm getting hints of that because Narendra Modi talked about that law in his interview with Arnav Goswami. Yogi Adityanath talked about it today with Aapki Adalat. They were all of a sudden criticizing a law which I always thought even BJP has no problem with. So that might be a hint that BJP is going to go towards more free speech, and if they do go towards more free speech, then it's game over for commies anyway. But that's neither here nor there. Let's say they don't do it. Let's say our free speech laws, our freedom of speech laws remain exactly the same. So the only hope is the groundswell, algorithms, Facebook, YouTube of these sorts of opinions is so much that BJP politicians are forced to put up let's say non-commies in positions of academic power. But even before that, you can't really put anyone in positions of power who don't have too much writing experience, publications, etc. Right? So people have to have a volume of publications anyway. And if your complaint is that Brill is not accepting my publication, fair enough. Publish somewhere else, but publish so much that quantity has a quality of its own. And when let's say in the hypothetical situation, let's say Shubhendu Adhikari puts up a mysterious sociologist, let's say in some position of power in academia. No one should be able to say that mysterious sociologist got that job because he's not a commie. They should see that mysterious sociologist has published so many papers. Okay, so after all, 50% has to come from your side, 50% we can hope from the government side. I guess a sports analogy is apt for this situation, that control the controllable. जो तुम्हारे हाथ में है वो पहले करो, फिर हम देखेंगे कि सरकार को कुछ करना चाहिए, वो बाद में आएगा.
Okay. And since you are also saying that the debating the left-wing ideology and the communist ideology, to be specific, is very much important, at least in context of Bengal. So my next question.
That is the only thing to do. What else is there to do?
Yes. And what, according to you, should be the blueprint to debate the commies? Because the first thing we have seen, at least for the Bengali commies, is that
first thing is debate their premises, and but actually before that also, the first point that comes to mind is that unless they are your friends, don't waste your time debating them, because no one's watching. Because in a debate, the point is not to convince the other person. Debates are a spectator sport.
That is the thing which I was trying.
Yeah, the audience is the important part here. The first time I saw anything of J. Sai Deepak, when I didn't even know what a J. Sai Deepak is, the first thing I saw of J. Sai Deepak was his debate with Shashi Tharoor. And back then I'm not even a right winger. All I know about right wing is, let's say, Sanjeev Sanyal is a great guy, he has written some interesting books. So I see J. Sai Deepak is destroying Shashi fucking Tharoor in a debate. How can this even happen? So I was as an audience got convinced. It doesn't matter if Shashi Tharoor did not get convinced of his ideas. So unless there is an audience around you, no need to debate a commie. Unless it's your friend. If you have commie friends, go around having a conversation with them. Second point is, of course, first clarify their premises. First think very hard whether his argument based on some premise is correct or not. Take note of the premise.
Okay, so that is what I was asking, because even if somebody is my friend, it gets easier to debate them because they know who am I, what are my credentials, and etc. They will not question on my credentials and where are you from, which universities I have studied from, and all these things. But when I'm trying to debate somebody whom I don't know personally, it becomes very difficult to invite them to a debate. I mean, they will say, "Oh, you are Gomutra Dinkar," and etc. And I don't want to waste my time debating you. Like, even if you point out that whatever you are saying, these are all based on statistical fallacy, and it does not hold any importance here in this modern world. Like, they will not understand. They will not, agree to you. That is the thing I was
so
asking.
Everyone is not going to say that.
How do you? Like
you don't have to invite everyone. Everyone doesn't have to accept your invitation. If they don't invite, if they don't accept, fine, move on to someone else. And it's not like there's a dearth of commies in our country, right?
Yeah. And another thing which I will want to know is that since most of the people in Bengal, for us, the change for us was organical. Like with age, we got to know things that what were the stupid things we were believing back then in colleges and all. So do you foresee this change as organic change for everybody, for the younger generation today, or do you see that people like Anand Ranganathan and J. Sai Deepak and you have a role to play to force this narrative that think stupid people, you must think what you are saying first. Do you see this change organic, or do you see that
there is no change that is not, it's always going to be organic only, maybe with some incentive structures and funding, etc. Then we can think of some inorganic mind changing much later on. That's not going to happen in the next 2-3 years at least. It's going to start maybe in the next 5-10 years. Then the fruits of that are going to be visible after, let's say, another 5-6 years. After, let's say, when some non or anti-Hindutvadi people take up those graduation or master's courses, and then they come out of those academia, and then they have a changed mind. Before that, it's all organic only with YouTube and books and stuff. It's going to be completely organic. because with law though you can't tell people that no, don't be a Hindutvadi from today. That's not going to happen anyway. So it's being having an organic Hindutva base is inevitable.
And another thing which is related to communism, which I want to ask, is that why do you think these left-wing ideologies and this communism thing is so much
Hmm.
attractive to people who are 16 to 20 years old? Like
Hmm.
maybe 22 you can stretch. So why do you think it is
Hmm.
so attractive to them? What is making this thing working, like this ideology ticking?
Yeah, because it's a route to complaining. No, complaining and excuses are the go-to principle. I mean the go-to solutions for everything. So unless being weak is looked down upon, which is all of a sudden we have started glorifying weakness and being a fucking pussy. So unless we bring back hating the idea of being a pussy, communism and leftist politics is going to increase its roots, which I don't think it's going to happen anymore because there's so much movement against being a pussy now. So with that comes leftist politics, that you get to justify everything because of some complaining attitude.
And another thing is that my question regarding to Bengal is that do you see this problem of illegal immigration getting solved ever? Because I don't see how it's going to happen.
No,
Because it's very difficult
no,
to
it's
find
not going
out
to be
people
solved.
who have migrated illegally to get them back.
Hmm. It's not going to be solved, and all the illegal immigrants who are already here, they are also never going to get kicked out. So in, let's say, I think 50-60 years there is going to be another partition, or Bengal is going to remain perpetually in AFSPA for hundreds of years. Bengal is unsalvageable. There can be temporary good governance in for 30-40 years, but Bengal is pretty much done. In 100-200 years from now, you won't see Bengal in India anymore.
Okay.
Okay, then let's
So
have Nina around
another
now.
thing
Thank you for
which
joining, Avinab.
okay,
We'll take things up
okay,
again
okay,
the next
thank
day.
you.
Yeah, bye bye.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Nina. Is Nina here? Hi, Nina. Let's see what the comment section is saying. I wonder if Nina is here or he's gone offline. Let's see. Let's wait for 5 more seconds, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Nina is not here. Let's see who's here. Mercury. Is Mercury here?
Yep, I am here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can I refer to you as CSK?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hi, CSK. So
Hi.
I add some few points to add. One, I would suggest to add the QR code for UPI when your video send or stream ends. So I don't see that. So that is one
Yeah.
suggestion. And any plans to do book reviews? I think you used to read some books online before. I don't see you do
Yeah.
that much
I
now.
do it from my membership live streams, which I am also have not been able to do for the last 1 or 2 weeks because I got all of a sudden too much work. I plan to resume them from tomorrow again, but
Okay.
now I'm doing them only in memberships. But I
Okay.
will get back to Brahma Puran and all the ancient Indian texts and Hindu texts, Shakti, Shakta, etc., Brahma Puran, Arthashastra. Those I will do without memberships as well,
Okay. Okay. Got it.
probably, because I don't know
Okay.
if I'm going to be too much busy with podcasts or not. Let's see.
Okay. And one question, like, how do you build a reading habit and how do you guys read more books? Because I'll give you one example. Like recently, there's a book, not Indic, but there's a left-wing-ish type book channel where they promote more of that. Like they recently, they did a podcast and the lady, she's a famous lady, I don't know her name, for the Arjuna hitting the bullseye, right? For that she said Arjuna didn't look throughout, he didn't look around. So those type of people are holding the narrative on people who are starting to read books. Like I'm recently started, I have some 20-25 books backlog. I have read only 2 3 4 books. So I just wanted to know, like, how do you inculcate a good habit, and people should not fall into those type of people's habits, That is why I would suggest like the people who are Indic wing to promote more of reading books to their viewers, and how exactly they went about reading.
Yeah. If someone is from an academic background or in academia, I mean, they have done graduation, masters, and all, they are used to reading books already. But the problem lies when like someone is trying to get back to reading. Let's say they passed out of college and university 5-10 years back. Now they don't have a reading habit anymore. Those are the people we are talking about, right?
Right.
So for them,
not just them, and anyone who's first to reading books. Like mostly people just read books in their school, whatever is prescribed in the school, college, etc.
True.
After they come out.
Yeah. For them, of course, start with read reviews. Ask people which are the easy to read books. Start with those. Like if anyone is in the Indic wing and they are not big time book readers, I would suggest them to start with Sanjay Dixit's book Unbreaking India and Sanjeev Sanyal's book. These two authors are the most lucid authors probably in the history of India. It's so easy to read their books casually while having coffee, while traveling, and more so Sanjay Dixit more than Sanjeev Sanyal. Unbreaking India you can have even like while practicing shadowboxing, you can read that book. It's so beautifully, so lucidly written. So start with those books, then you can move on to gradually tougher books and more dense books, and have some sort of a goal that 10 pages a day or 2 chapters a day, and let's half an hour every day, those sorts of things.
Right. I've set up a similar rule. Like we have 3 meals a day, so I told at least 3 pages I should read within a day.
Right.
Each meal, 1 page I should dedicate.
Yeah.
That's how I'm trying to build my
since
habit.
Since I lost my reading habit, then got it back. And then again when I get too much music projects, and then again I have to stop reading books. Again I have to get back that reading habit. What I realized is the main problem with reading habits is that it's a very physical muscle memory thing, which is your eyeballs tend to not stick to the sentences. Your eyeballs tend to go here and there. So it's a completely physical task that you have to execute. So think of it absolutely like a workout, and you'll get better at it. Just like practicing in order to do your first push-up, you'll have to try to do a push-up like ऐसे करके push-up practice करना होगा. In that same way, you just have to start with 1, 2, 3 pages maybe every day, and just try to follow every sentence. That habit will pick up like that in 7-8 days, and then you can start reading with much more ease and fun.
Right. And I've read Sanjeev Sanyal's revolutionary book. It was very nice.
I see.
It was very easy to read because it presented more. It's very good. You should pick it up. It tells about all the other revolutionaries. Like the mainstream narrative is Gandhiji, etc. But there were other people. There was only one party, Congress party, right? So everyone were under that wing, but Congress itself was like a big coalition of everything. And within that, there were other streams of thoughts as well, where the revolutionary thought. So all those are explained quite well in a nice story type manner.
Yeah. Okay, Mercury, you got any more things to discuss?
Yeah, I had 2 more things to discuss. You were very pessimistic about Bengal, that in 50-60 years it would become about West Bengal. You said in 50-60 years it would become Bangladesh. It would get consumed into Bangladesh. I would disagree on that because if you keep getting BJP into power more and more, which at least I'm seeing the trend, they will put the law and order issue to rest. And you also said that infiltration cannot be stopped. That also they will put it to rest, and they are actually deporting people. If you see Assam and Manipur, they have started deporting people, whomever they are.
That deporting is not a big deal because they are deporting only people who came like last week. They are not deporting the people who came 5 years back, 10 years back, and who have by now 3 wives and 500 kids. And those 500 kids are going to have 1,000 kids. So and Bengali Hindus are going to go around saving the environment by not having kids. So that problem is not going to be solved by Shubhendu Adhikari.
No, I'm telling the new inflow will stop. At least that they're doing.
I'm
the
saying
work.
the damage is done. The new inflow doesn't even matter. The damage is done.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
And one last topic. I would suggest you to read this book, The New BJP. It's by
Nalin Mehta.
Nalin Mehta. It's very good. I started reading it yesterday, and I've already read 3 chapters, around 100 pages. So it's very lucid. It's full of data. You will understand the entire structure, how BJP has been pre 2013 and from 2013 onwards, how they have reformed, how they are giving people access, not access, how
Yeah,
do I say?
I know of the
Put
book.
all the
I
castes,
know of
yeah.
that book. I've been meaning to read that book and the Sangi who never went to a Sang. Those two books I have not been able to pick up yet, but I do plan to read them sometime soon.
Okay, yeah, this is very good. At least I read 3 chapters. It's very good.
Hmm.
And I also came across a new book called Accelerating India's Development, a state-led roadmap for effective governance. I heard very
Okay.
good reviews from online and few people
I see.
who read. So you can check that out as well. It's
I
more
see.
about the data on how policy making had happened and
I see.
those
Yes.
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, Mercury.
that's
Thank
about
you.
it from me.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking
Thank
me.
you for joining.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye. Next we have somebody called Star Lord. Hello, Star Lord.
हेलो
Hello.
हेलो
Yeah, I can hear you.
हेलो सो क्या मैं हिंदी में बात कर सकता हूँ?
हाँ बोलिए.
इज इट ओके?
Yeah.
तो मेरा ना एक डाउट था कि जैसे हम प्रोफेसर्स को देखते हैं जेएनयू के और ऐसे बड़े बड़े प्रोफेसर यूनिवर्सिटी में, अशोका यूनिवर्सिटी जैसी,
हाँ.
तो एक तरफ तो ये ब्रिटिश कॉलोनियलिज्म को बुरा बोलेंगे और दूसरी तरफ इस्लामिक इंपीरियलिज्म जो 1000 साल से हुआ उसको अच्छा बोलेंगे, बोलेंगे कि बहुत अच्छी चीज हुई, ये हुई. तो मतलब क्या हमारा नैरेटिव बिल्कुल ऐसा खत्म हो चुका है कि हम कुछ ला ही नहीं सकते इनके सामने की ये
हमारा नैरेटिव था ही कब जो खत्म होगा. नैरेटिव शुरू किया तो सीताराम गोयल ने और अभी थोड़ा पिकअप किया जैसा दीपक संदीप सन्याल ने, और अब लोग बोल रहे हैं कि डिबेट जरूरी नहीं है. तो नैरेटिव होता है तो भाई सिर्फ फंडिंग और पैसों के वजह से. सीताराम गोयल को भी पैसा नहीं मिला. अभी जो लोग हैं उन लोगों को तो ब्लूम्सबरी पैसा दे रहा है, ऑनलाइन में पैसा मिल रहा है. तो फंडिंग स्ट्रक्चर जब चेंज हो जाएगा एकेडेमिया में तब नैरेटिव होगा, उससे पहले नहीं होगा.
मैंने जैसा दीपक की बुक देखी, उनके जो फुटनोट्स थे उनमें उन्होंने बहुत सारे क्रेडिबल सोर्सेज मेंशन कर रखे हैं.
हाँ.
ब्रिटिश हिस्टोरियन, उस टाइम के जो ब्रिटिश जर्नलिस्ट थे, अमेरिकन जर्नलिस्ट थे, वो सब मेंशन कर रहे हैं कि किस तरीके से मोपला रेबेलियन हुआ. उसमें भी जो लोग आज लिखते हैं कि कम्युनिस्ट वो था, पेजेंट रेबेलियन था, उनके जो अपर कास्ट थी, जो अपर क्लास थी, उसको हटाने के लिए, वो भी सब बुलशिट था कंप्लीटली. वो एक पक्का इस्लामिक ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ने किया था. तो मतलब उस चीज को, इस नैरेटिव को आप एक बार ना, एक हिस्टोरियन है रॉबर्ट जी हॉयलैंड, उनको एक बार आप अप्रोच करना और उनको अपने पॉडकास्ट पे लाना. उनकी बुक है इन द गॉड्स पाथ.
अच्छा.
इन द गॉड्स पाथ बाय रॉबर्ट जी हॉयलैंड. उन्होंने भी ये बुक लिखी है. बट मैं ये देख रहा हूँ ना इंडिया में ना बाहर की यूनिवर्सिटीज में इस नैरेटिव को कोई वो ही नहीं दे रहा.
नैरेटिव देखो, नैरेटिव तो दो जगह में होता है. हाँ, एक है एकेडेमिया का नैरेटिव, एक है एकेडेमिया के बाहर का नैरेटिव. तो एकेडेमिया के बाहर का नैरेटिव तो बहुत ही बढ़िया युद्ध चल रहा है. जैसा दीपक संजीव सन्याल, उनके वॉइसेस, उनके वीडियोस के व्यूज, उनके सपोर्टर्स, उनके सब आर्ग्यूमेंट्स हम सबको अभी पता है. तो एकेडेमिया के बाहर कौमी लोग हार रहे हैं, मगर पॉलिसी मेकिंग में या फिर ग्लोबल पावर्स के साथ कोलैबोरेट करने के लिए तो एकेडेमिया के अंदर ही जाना होगा. वहां पे जैसा दीपक संजीव सन्याल को कोई सीरियसली नहीं ले पाएगा, क्योंकि आप कैसे बोल सकते हो कि ऐसा भाई हमारा एजुकेशन सिस्टम है कि एक लॉयर को सोशियोलॉजी का बुक लिखना पड़ता है, एक फाइनेंशियल मार्केट्स वाले को हिस्ट्री का बुक लिखना पड़ता है. तो दैट विल बी वो तो एकदम हंसी मजाक का चीज हो जाएगा. तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि एकेडेमिया के बाहर का जो युद्ध चल रहा है उसमें आप चिल रहिए, उसमें अच्छा ही हो रहा है सब. एकेडेमिया के अंदर का अब हैंडल करना है, उसके लिए फंडिंग गवर्नमेंट और अमीर हिंदुओं को दोनों को ही देखना है. उनको ही हमको पेस्टर करना है कि भाई अब थोड़े निकालो पैसे.
हेलो.
हाँ हेलो.
तो मतलब मैं भी इस चीज पे थोड़ा रिसर्च कर रहा था ना. जितने भी रिकॉर्ड्स मिले वो मिले ब्रिटिश हिस्टोरियंस के और उनके जर्नलिस्ट के, जो तब थे, जो मतलब तब आ रहे थे इंडिया में. बंगाल इन्वेजन किया था उन्होंने, वो उस टाइम लिख रहे थे सारे, जो उस टाइम मुगल्स के अगेंस्ट लिख रहे थे, क्योंकि उन्हें दिख रहा था कि हिंदू और ये मुगल साथ में है. तो चलो एक काम करते हैं, इनको प्राइमरी सोर्स देते हैं हिंदूज को, ताकि इनको असलियत दिखे इनकी भी. तभी ये हिंदूज को थोड़ा सा स्प्लिट होके एक तरफ इनसे लड़ना पड़ा, दूसरी तरफ उनसे लड़ना पड़ा. लेकिन मैं ये देख रहा हूँ जैसे कि अभी ये है ऑर्डर टू स्टेट, इसकी बुक है, और ये रिचर्ड ईटन और पता नहीं क्या क्या, इंडिया इन द पर्शियन एज, मतलब ऐसे दिखाते हैं कि इंडिया इस जो 1000 साल का पीरियड है इसी में ही अच्छा था, बाकी सारे पीछे क्या है, उससे पीछे क्या है, अब्बा डब्बा जब्बा.
हाँ
सब कुछ, सब
हाँ
वॉर मॉन्गर से सारे खचरे थे,
हाँ
सब एक दूसरे से लड़ रहे थे।
हाँ हाँ
और एक और चीज मैंने नोटिस करी है,
हम्म
जैसे कि अगर 5,000 साल पुराना मान लो एक ऐसा टेक्स्ट मिल गया
हम्म
जिसमें ये लिखा हुआ है कि शूद्रों को ये करना है, लोअर
हम्म
कास्ट की धज्जियां उड़ा देंगे, उनसे पैसा, उनके मुंह
हम्म
पे पैसा, उनसे सारा पैसा छीन लो, ये छीन लो,
हम्म
सारे उनके कपड़े
हम्म
उतार लो,
हम्म
और संस्कृत में लिखा हुआ है,
हम्म
ब्राह्मणों ने लिखा है,
हम्म
लोग आज के टाइम पे अगर वो चीज मिल गई आज, दंगे हो
हम्म
जाएंगे, जेएनयू में आग लगा देंगे, ब्राह्मणों को ये बोलेंगे भागो यहाँ से, सेंट्रल एशिया
हम्म
जाओ,
हम्म
और पता नहीं क्या क्या बोलेंगे। लेकिन अगर
हम्म
वही चीज किसी इस्लामिक सूफी सेंट या पर्शियन सेंट ने लिख दी है और वो आ गई ना बाहर, तो उस चीज को पूरा ऐसे दिखाएंगे कि ये तो एक आइसोलेटेड स्कॉलर है, जबकि ऐसे बहुत सारे
राइट
स्कॉलर्स हैं जिन्होंने
हाँ
इससे भी
तो
डिस्कस
वो जब तुम बोलोगे वो तो सबसे पहले बोलेगा कि नॉट ऑल मुस्लिम्स आर बैड। वो तुमको
हाँ
वो
यही
फैक्ट
है।
फैक्ट फैक्ट पे काउंटर करेगा ही नहीं। वो बोलेगा हाँ ये बोला बोला गया था मगर ऑल मुस्लिम्स आर नॉट बैड। तो इसीलिए ना मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि रेडिकल्स और मॉडरेट्स दोनों इतने इतने वैल्यूएबल है एक मूवमेंट के लिए, क्योंकि हमारे मूवमेंट में कुछ कंप्लेनर्स चाहिए, कुछ कुछ एकदम पागल बंदे भी चाहिए। और कंप्लेनर्स का यहाँ पे क्या रोल है कि कुछ लोगों को यही बोलते फिरना है कि तो देखो भाई नॉट ऑल हिंदूज यही बोलते फिरना है, और कुछ लोगों को ऐसा करना है कि ये सिर्फ ढूंढते भी रहो या फिर अपना खुद का नैरेटिव भी बनाते रहो। तो हर तरह के लोग इसीलिए ज़रूरत है और है भी हमारे पास। फिर हमको सिर्फ यही याद रखना है कि हमारे अपनों में जो रेडिकल है, जो मॉडरेट है, जो थोड़ा रेडिकल है, जो थोड़ा मॉडरेट है, इन सब में अपना अपना गुस्सा ज़्यादा नहीं करने का है, वही प्रायोरिटी हो।
अच्छा, वैसे एक चीज पूछनी थी,
हम्म
जैसे आपने डॉक्टर बी आर अम्बेडकर की बुक पढ़ी होगी, पाकिस्तान और पार्टीशंस ऑफ इंडिया।
हम्म
उसमें डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर के नैरेटिव से
हम्म
लाइक मैं इतना कह सकता हूँ कि आज के जो ये हिस्टोरियन आ रहे हैं ना, ये उनके पैरों की धूल भी नहीं है, क्योंकि वो पक्के जिसे कहते हैं
एब्सोल्युटली
नेशनलिस्ट थे, वो हर
हाँ
तरीके से, वो उनका नैरेटिव इंडिया का था।
हम्म
हेलो
हाँ
हेलो,
हाँ हाँ सुनाई दे रहा है।
आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ हाँ
तो ये आज के जो हिस्टोरियन है, मार्क्सिस्ट हिस्टोरियन, आज उनके पैरों की धूल भी नहीं है।
हाँ
तो
बिल्कुल
उनके हिसाब से क्या था, उनके हिसाब से क्या था, वो कैसे देखते थे इन इस्लामिक इन्वेडर को? वो ऐसे देखते थे कि हमारे में आए, एसिमिलेट हो गए, या वो ऐसे देखते थे कि नहीं, इनको
हम्म
बाहर का ही रहने दो?
हम्म
उनका नैरेटिव क्या था इनके इनके लिए?
हम्म तुम्हारा सवाल
हेलो
क्या है?
हेलो,
हाँ तुम्हारा सवाल क्या है?
हाँ मैं पूछ रहा हूँ,
हाँ बोलो।
मैं मतलब ये पूछ रहा था कि डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर की बुक जो है,
हाँ
इंडिया और पार्टीशंस ऑफ इंडिया, वो
हाँ
पार्टीशन और पाकिस्तान के लिए, उसमें क्या
हाँ
उन्होंने अपना नैरेटिव दिया इन
हाँ
इन्वेडर्स के लिए?
हाँ हाँ
मैं मतलब क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ कि उसमें क्या नैरेटिव उन्होंने वो दिया,
ओ अच्छा अच्छा,
अपना ओपिनियन इन इन्वेडर्स के
नैरेटिव
लिए।
या मजे का बात तो यही है कि जो कि मतलब दलितों का हीरो है, और जिसको यूज करके लोग सोचते हैं कि मतलब दलित हिंदू नहीं है, या फिर अंबेडकर मतलब एक विराट एंटी हिंदू व्यक्तित्व था। वो बंदा पूरा का पूरा बुक में तो सिर्फ हिंदुओं का ये हो जाएगा, हिंदुओं का हो जाएगा, अगर इतने मुसलमान रहे देश में तो हिंदुओं का क्या होगा, अगर इतने मुसलमान आर्मी में रहे तो हिंदुओं का क्या होगा। पूरा बुक हिंदुओं को बचाने के लिए ही लिखा है। वहां पे अम्बेडकर ने ये नहीं लिखा है कि मुसलमान रहेंगे तो दलित का क्या होगा। एक मतलब पूरा का पूरा हिंदूज विल फेस दिस, हिंदूज विल फेस दैट, यही है। और उनका एनाइलेशन ऑफ कास्ट जो स्पीच है, उसका भी शुरू का मतलब पहला 10-15 पेज तो सिर्फ हिंदू यूनिटी को लेकर है। उनका कंप्लेन ये है कि मतलब हिंदू मुसलमान जैसा यूनाइटेड क्यों नहीं है। कोई मुसलमान के हाथ एक मतलब तुम कुछ भी करोगे तो इमीडिएटली 20 मुसलमान खड़े हो जाएंगे, हिंदुओं का ऐसा क्यों नहीं है। तो एनाइलेशन ऑफ कास्ट में वो हिंदू यूनिटी की बात कर रहे हैं, और पाकिस्तान ऑफ पार्टीशन में हिंदू सेफ्टी की बात कर रहे हैं। यही है उनका मेन एजेंडा।
और इन्वेडर्स पे
बोल रहा है कि इन्वेडर्स सारे भोसडी वाले अपने आप में सबको मारना चाहते हैं, मगर उनका एक ही यूनाइटेड एजेंडा है कि हिंदुओं को भी मारना है सब मिलके। मगर अगर जब तक सामने हिंदू नहीं है तब तक टाटार, मंगोल, ये टर्किश, ये सब अपने आप में भी मारपीट करते रहेंगे। मगर इम्पॉसिबल है कि इतने सारे मुसलमान और नॉन मुसलमान एक देश में रहे, ये उनका कहना था।
आज अगर एक तरह से मैं अगर आज का सिनेरियो भी लेके बाहर की बात करूं तो यूके में, यूएस में ये सब चीजें दिख रही हैं, ऐसा हो रहा है। मतलब जर्मनी में रिसेंटली है कि वो मांग रहे थे अपनी अलग से, अलग नहीं, वो उसके ऊपर ही मांग रहे थे।
हाँ, इसीलिए अंबेडकर को हमको इग्नोर नहीं करना है। अंबेडकर एकेडेमिया में भी क्रेडेंशियल्ड आदमी है भी, और बहुत ही जल्दी अंबेडकर को कौमी लोग गाली देना शुरू करेंगे। और 1-2 साल रुक जाओ, अंबेडकर को ये लोग गाली देना शुरू करेंगे, और तब अंबेडकर मतलब अंबेडकर 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 के जगह ही रहेगा। उनका उनका व्यूज लेके ही हम लोग ही पेपर लिखेंगे, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है।
बस यही था मेरा। बाकी आप एक बार ना जो हिस्टोरियन मैंने बताया रॉबर्ट जी हॉयलैंड, उनको लेके आना और उनसे पूछना है इन चीजों के नैरेटिव क्यों हो, मतलब अगर कोई नैरेटिव बनाना भी नहीं चाहता कि भारतीय यूनिवर्सिटीज में। हाँ,
ओके स्टारलॉर्ड, थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग। हाँ, अभी हम ले रहे हैं मुंशी शास्त्री। ओके, थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग स्टारलॉर्ड। मुंशी शास्त्री, हाय एम शास्त्री।
कैसे हो?
हाँ, गुड।
सुनाई दे रहा?
हाँ।
Okay, so couple of things. Academia में, Western academia में, there's actually a lot of progress happening, right? So there's something called as a Ghent school. Ghent में, University of Ghent में, BN SN बाल गंगाधरा है ना? His group has,
Jacob de Roover और बाला गंगाधरा.
Yeah. His group has created a bunch of like really good scholarly work, right? And अभी उसपे citation loop बनना चालू हो रहा है, and they are questioning all these preconceptions and all these narratives that's happening. वो वेस्ट में चल रहा है, वो अभी इंडिया में आना बाकी है. इंडिया में थोड़ा अभी कर रहे हैं, right? But आना बाकी है, right? There are very specific places that's doing it, like particularly in southern universities attached to अपना the most hated Shankaracharyas and all that, right? So उनका institute से pushback आ रहा है. The second thing I do want to say is that rather than radicals, we need to stick around with consistent people, right? Why is the right rising in Europe? It's not because the radicals convinced people. No, because the radicals were basically consistent. उन लोग हमेशा एक ही चीज बोलते थे. देख, if you go down this DEI path, ये झगड़ा होने वाला, identity warfare होने वाला, and they kept on consistently saying the same thing for 10 years. And now when all of those actions panned out, they're like, okay, ये बंदे जो बोल रहे थे इन लोग सही है. So we need a lot more consistent people, not radical people. Right? So
we don't need them, but they will be there, and they will be a benefit for us, because after all, when these moderate rights, they were not actually radicals. When they got started be taken seriously, at that point, people thought that, okay, after all, Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro are saying these things, but after all, they don't hate black people. Oh, I thought always right-wing people always hate black people. But the actual right-wing, or let's say the far-right white supremacists, they already set the tone and shifted the Overton window. But if no such people existed, let's say if Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson were actually the farthest right-wing people of USA, then they would be the radicals, and Obama would be the right-wing guy.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of what's happening, but it's also because these consistent people, they are the anchors of everything, right? So like, let's take Andy Go, NGO, right?
Yeah.
Now, he used to be labeled as a radical. Today, he's labeled as a moderate.
Yeah.
Right? But he hasn't changed anything about himself. वो एक ही चीज बोल रहा था, वो अभी भी एक ही चीज बोल रहा है.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing with Peter Boghossian and all of those groups, right? They're basically क्या होता है? They have certain principles, they stick with it.
Yeah.
Right. And we need to find those people who have certain principles and they stick with it. We might not agree with those principles completely, but that's debatable, right? Compromise तो होना ही चाहिए. So I would say we encourage people like say Ashish Dhar, upward group वाले लोग, right? जैसाई दीपक तो चल ही रहा है, right? हर्ष मधुसूदन तो चल ही रहा है, and we should have a platter of very consistent people with different viewpoints, but following the same ideology. That'll always be to our benefit. क्योंकि क्या है कि Hindu society thrives in diversity. You kill that, then you kill Hindu society. वो maintain करना जरूरी है, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, don't worry about Audrey Tushke and all that. Usko, I'm serious. I mean, because after some point in time, you keep saying the same nonsense again and again, you will only delegitimize yourself. And thoda ho raha hai, right? As let me give you an example. Like US now, 50% of all new students in the US, international students in the US are Indians, right? And you have to look at these numbers: 500,000, 600,000.
Yeah.
Now, इन लोग इंडिया से ही है ना हिंदुत्ववादी बन के आ रहे, तो यहाँ पर ग्राउंड सेल होने वाला है. People like Troshke will be sidelined, right? Her works
True.
will be sidelined, and other
Yeah.
people will start surfacing, right? So ज्यादा ध्यान नहीं देने का. जब उन लोग हरकतें कर रहे तब रिएक्ट करो, and then just keep quiet. No name calling, no nothing.
या काउंटर पेपर्स के लिए फंडिंग चाहिए होगा, तो अगर हिंदुत्ववादी भी जाए ट्रुस्की के अगेंस्ट, तो पेपर लिखना पड़ेगा किसी को.
Yes.
वो नॉन कॉमी फंडिंग के अलावा नहीं होगा.
Yes.
तो वो जब होगा तब वी कैन रेस्ट अश्योर्ड अ लिटिल मोर.
Yes, that's
okay,
true.
M Shastri, any more points?
Oh yeah, and one more thing.
Yeah.
We need to learn from other countries, right? So Canada has successfully moved around its free speech and all other laws and still managed to क्या बोलते हैं, inject deep Marxist theology into academia. We need to learn from them. ये कैसा इन लोग कैप्चर किया है, कैसा उन लोग ने सेटअप किया है सिस्टम. What policies did they use to basically mildly tilt the balance? क्योंकि these are all very subtle things that they've done. ये हम सीखेंगे तो फिर हम भी कर सकते हैं, and without people noticing.
Yeah. That is why at the end of the day some kind of training is required, or it can be done only by former Marxists.
No, you need to study other cultures, right? Indian banke, you need to study other cultures. So, for example, like to West में जाएगा तो there are plenty of authors who write the Western view of Indian society, the Western view of Indian democracy. But there's nobody in India who's writing the Indian view of Western society, right? वो लिखना जरूरी है.
The stupid criticism you will get if you do that is that why are we so bothered about the West?
No, forget it. No, we still need to do it. क्योंकि उन लोग भी सब लोग कर रहे हैं यार. If you go to say Japan, they have a Japanese view of Indian society. They have a Japanese view of American society. Right? Europeans have a European view of Indian society, and they have a European view of American society. I mean, ultimately, क्या है कि we need to see. You don't have to think about it in terms of legitimacy, but you can just think about it in terms of state interest, right? अभी भारत को यूरोप के साथ डील करना है, तो भारत needs to know what the culture of Europe looks like. What does it look from our perspective? We can't just rely on these diplomats and their personal connections and what they write in their reports, right? So वो भी जरूरी है. So
and therefore realizing that people who are getting these Einstein Fellowships and stuff, they are what incense storm they are going to create in a few years. So being wary of them, being aware of these people is therefore important.
वो सब brown साहब गिरी है, right? I'm saying कि इंडिया में बैठ के we need to have people. See, we have plenty of Europhilic people, right? Anglophilic people है. Use them and tell them, भाई तू उनका society के बारे में like Indian view के तरफ से. At least, you know, instead of you give them an option, you say, you can be part of our society and you can be the cool guy who writes about European society from an Indian perspective. क्या गलत करे, क्या सही कर रहे हैं. So वो जरूरी है मैं बोल रहा हूँ.
Yeah. Academic funding. Okay, M Shastri, thank you for joining. We'll talk again in the next audience interaction live stream.
Yeah, I'll bring a story about how DAI ruined Canadian academia as well.
Yeah.
मजा आएगा.
Okay. Yeah. Now we have 3 more people in the line, so we are ending the conversation for now.
Okay, ciao.
Okay,
Bye.
bye. Now we have light search research.
Hello, bro.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, so I think what has happened is that Hindus have been on the back foot for very long. So I think we need to start a kind of apologetics to delegitimize the other religions' argument and legitimize ours. Like their claim of, for example, the Quran being unchanged, and we have the Vedas that are unchanged for 3,000 years, even with the a tone not being changed, right? So we need to get in the mud and fight them on claim. And I think the best way to do is create a website that can be used to easily share these arguments with others and have it be on some place that can be used by everyone and add these things time by again and again and go in the mud and debate.
Right. Okay. Any more points?
Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you think? I think Hinduism had a missionary bent to it before, but why do you think it has gone down, or why has it stopped being so?
When it stopped, when the Kalapani stuff happened, that you can't cross Kalapani, etc., that obviously happened because of Islamic invasions, that you leave your home and you come back to find that your entire village is Muslim, or it's basically disappeared off the face of earth. So why it's not the case anymore, that's of course funding issues and stuff, but Ramakrishna Mission and all, ISKCON, they are doing it because they have funding. So if you can convince people to fund you, you can do anything.
Okay, so it's just the thing of I think it's just not the funding as well, because the texts are so you for the arguments can be easily debunked for other people's argument, the Christians and Muslims. But the thing is finding the text that which is correct and the correctly translated thing and the argument around it. Finding that is very difficult. You can't easily find it.
Yeah, that's not going to happen without funding, research funding.
Yeah.
True. Okay, we have more people waiting. So anything else you want to talk about?
Nothing else. Okay.
Thank you for joining
Thank
Light Search Research. Hope to have you back the
Yeah.
next time we do these things. Audience interaction. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Now we have Gramsci Goat. Hello, Gramsci Goat.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I discovered your channel, I think last year when you debunked the Prakhar Gupta and Kushal Mehra.
Yeah.
So it's been really educational.
I in the deepest depths of my heart, I believe that I turned Prakhar Gupta into a pro non-left, pro right-wing person. In that conversation, he was saying that were we really that great back then? And then I said that, oh my God, just read Sanjeev Sanyal. And then he starts off by inviting Sanjeev Sanyal to his podcast, and then he does a separate episode on Arthashastra.
He kind of just sprinkles, fancy words around and talk stupid things. But
now he's on the right path.
Yes, now he is right. So I wanted to ask you that once you mentioned that the TMC, they kind of outlefted the CPIM.
Yeah.
And I believe that the BJP, it's not exactly, it's not as much Hindutva as it should be, because Hindutva, one of the core tenets must be that it is against pseudo-secularism. But, even after 10 years, there's not any mention of, removing the Waqf Board Act and a lot of other things which they need to do.
Yeah.
So
what you are saying they need to do, even they agree that they need to do. It's just a debate of when.
So I kind of think that because I think Modi is not exactly that much, Hindutva as he should be. He kinds
See,
of tries to balance, and the Pasmanda experiment has also, really actually failed because
no,
so
I disagree because these things take time. It will take
so
at
I
least one
think
generation.
because I think the leadership needs to change a bit, and uh, there should be more of the talking points which people like JSD and all these guys have put up,
Hmm.
kind of exposing the pseudo secularism. They have not really addressed that much
Yeah.
till now.
See, the Pasmanda thing is to going to you are going to see the fruits of that after one generation at least. One generation means 25 years, and सुखस्य मूलम धर्म धर्मस्य मूलम अर्थ. तो अभी तक तो हम भिखारी थे. Like Rami Niranjan Desai was saying in the podcast with me that what kind of a prime minister has to come to power and build toilets first and foremost, that too after 75 years of independence. So we are in that situation. तो अभी तो भिखारी थे. अभी अभी अर्थ हो रहा है. अभी फिर से उसके बाद धर्म भी होगा.
Yes, some people whom I have talked with, they kind of want Annamalai or maybe Yogi Adityanath as the next,
Yeah, yeah.
because
Yogi तो of
Annamalai,
course is Yogi and Himanta both are of course PM material. बट उनको अपना स्टेट भी 10-15 साल और भी हैंडल करना है ना, स्पेशली योगी. यूपी उनके अलावा कौन हैंडल करेगा अभी. और अन्नामलाई देखो, आइडिया से तो कुछ आता जाता नहीं है. तुम नरेंद्र मोदी को भी अभी पीएम का पोस्ट छोड़ के एक यूट्यूब चैनल खोलने को बोलो, नरेंद्र मोदी भी जैसा दीपक की तरह ही बात करेगा. एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, एग्जीक्यूशन, पॉलिसी वो सब अलग है ना, और डिबेट सब अलग है. तो अन्नामलाई अच्छा पीएम बनेगा इसका कोई गारंटी नहीं है.
yes, and the other thing which I wanted to ask was that I think 1 day or 2 day back, in the comment section, discussing the gun law.
Yeah.
So I actually thought about it, and I felt, yeah, I think they can relax the restrictions a bit. But then I don't know, again and again, I think that will kind of increase the problems. I think especially.
Who do you think at the moment who wants to kill you, possibly maybe because they know you, or maybe because potentially they might be a criminal and you might be sometime face to face with them? Such a person, do you think they don't have a gun already?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I think I was continuously my mind was going again and again to the American problem, but
American problem is a 15-year-old problem and the law is 192 years old.
Yeah, the riot part was actually pretty precise, that riots will be stopped, because then वो पुलिस भी सीधे फिर गन चलाएगा. तो
एग्जैक्टली पुलिस आएगी भी नहीं, सो सीधा पैराएसएफ आ जाएगी. अगर सबके हाथों में गन होगा तो घर के ऊपर उठो, सीधा स्नाइपर से सबको उड़ा दो.
And I think the weapons kind of need to be regulated, because क्योंकि फिर जैसे automatic weapons अगर
वो तो दूर की बात है. अभी तो अमिताभ बच्चन का ढिशक्या वो गन मिलता है 60,000 रुपए में, वो भी डीएम को सूफू करके वैसे मिलेगा.
yes.
सामने 30 पत्थरबाज खड़े होंगे, तुम ऐसे घुमाओगे रिवॉल्वर.
And I wanted to ask that what do you think, how much seats will BJP this time get in West Bengal?
25, I think.
Can you think it can go to 30?
Some people are saying. I personally don't think so.
So because how much is the violence during Lok Sabha elections in West Bengal? क्योंकि पंचायत में उसमें तो देखा था वोट क्या हुआ था.
अभी तक तो उतना वायलेंस का खबर नहीं आ रहा है,
क्योंकि टर्नआउट फिर अच्छा होता है लोकसभा में वेस्ट बंगाल जैसी जगह में.
हाँ. अभी भी वायलेंस वाला कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज भी आना बाकी है, तो देखते हैं तब पता चलेगा.
किधर ज्यादा हो जाता है वायलेंस इन द
that is actually in different, let's say Diamond Harbour is going to happen, I think on 1st June. There's going to be some violence there.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to ask you, that I think I was watching a Jesai Deepak, he was with Sushant Sinha, and he was kind of trying to explain कि अगर हम लोग हिंदुत्व को डायरेक्ट जाति से भिड़ाएंगे तो जाति can actually, it can win, because that's the proximate identity. I'm actually just directly saying what JSD said. So he was kind of the opinion कि हम लोगों को एक mechanism need to develop कि वो जाति आइडेंटिटी से हिंदुत्व के उस पे फर्क ना पड़े. So what do you think about this? And he said a thing कि घर के अंदर जाति और बाहर हिंदू. He mentioned this
देखो
phrase.
पहली बात तो ये है कि अगर किसी को अपना जाति वगैरह पता है, अगर कोई कास्ट मानता है तो उसका ये उनके लिए एप्लीकेबल है. मैं तो ऐसे किसी आदमी को नहीं जानता हूं अपने जिंदगी में जो कि अपना खुद का जाति जानता भी है. और उसके बाद आता है कि जाति, सिंस दे वर मेनली प्रोफेशंस, तो उसके बेसिस पे ही अगर जाति का सिस्टम, जाति का प्रोज एंड कॉन्स सब कुछ, वो एक सोशल डिसेंट्रलाइज्ड सेल्फ रेगुलेटिंग जो सिस्टम था कास्ट का, वो अगर अभी फॉलो करना है तो वो तो आज के प्रोफेशंस के बेसिस पे करना है. तो अ म्यूजिशियन इज माई जाति. I will follow my जाति solidarity with other musicians. अगर जैसा दीपक का ये कहना है कि अभी हम जाति जाति खेले, वो that's not going to work anyway. और especially for people with urban anglicized upbringing वाले people, like most people in Bengal and including me. So I'm not opposed to Jai Deepak's views. All I'm saying is that whoever it applies to, let them try. All we are talking about is not behaving badly towards someone who you think is lower than you.
I think that discrimination is the actual thing. And right. I also sometimes think that for Ambedkarites, it's actually, I feel it's kind of better to align with the Hindutva movement. I don't know why they don't understand, because maybe it's hijacked by the wrong people.
Who? Ambedkarites?
Ambedkarite, yes.
Oh yeah. उनका तो दिमाग का भोसड़ा बना दिया है. तो
because basically if you are playing all your game on victimhood and continuously कि caste बहुजन, तो उससे खत्म तो होगा नहीं, उससे तो और and in Bihar it all was caste gangs and all. So I don't understand why they don't actually align, because in UP then you have people like Ravan who are just ridiculous.
And वो आम्बेडकर का पाकिस्तान और पार्टीशन ऑफ इंडिया जो बुक था, वो 2014 से पहले इंडिया में मिलता ही नहीं था, ठीक है. तो अभी वो बुक सब पढ़ रहे हैं और वो इतना पॉपुलर हो रहा है, इतना वायरल हो रहा है उसका सब आर्ग्यूमेंट्स. तो ये ज्यादा दिन टिकने वाला नहीं है. या तो वो लोग आम्बेडकर को छोड़ देंगे, या फिर वो लोग आम्बेडकर मूवमेंट को छोड़ के हिंदुत्व में चले आएंगे, आम्बेडकर को भी ना छोड़े. ये एक जगह में नहीं रहने वाला है किसी भी तरह से.
And one thing also, when the Ram Mandir had happened, the Pran Pratishtha, there was this thing in FTI, that the Film Television Institute, that they were raising things like bring Babri back and all that stupid things. So as you are also a musician and all, a filmmaker, so so I think कि जैसे कि ऐसे institutes में right wing director या जो दूसरी पार्ट ऑफ स्टोरी सामने लाए, हाउ कैन दे एक्चुअली इन्फिल्ट्रेट, और क्योंकि वो बहुत ही ज्यादा लेफ्ट डोमिनेटेड डिपार्टमेंट है, क्योंकि फिर तो देयर कैन बी दिस थिंग लाइक कि वो जैसे प्राच्यम कर रहा है कि यू गो ऑन यूट्यूब एंड डू इंडिपेंडेंट स्टफ, और यू कैन एक्चुअली ट्राई टू मे बी गो थ्रू द NSD और FTI, बट दैट्स आई फील डिफिकल्ट. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि वो तो
ये तो कठिन प्रश्न है, क्योंकि हमारा राइट विंग का ना एक नेचर है कि हर जगह का राइट विंग का ये प्रॉब्लम होता है, जिस वजह से कि पूरे दुनिया में ही लेफ्ट विंग ने पॉप कल्चर एकदम हड़प लिया है, विच इज दैट राइट विंग पीपल आर नॉट रियली आर्ट एंड कल्चर ओरिएंटेड. नो, दे आर कॉमर्स साइंस ओरिएंटेड. तो आर्ट एंड कल्चर में अच्छा होने के लिए जो एक पर्टिकुलर वे ऑफ थिंकिंग चाहिए, वो राइट विंग वालों का तो है ही नहीं. तो अब अगर किसी को लग रहा है कि इतने साल बाद के अरे भाई सारे मूवी तो कम ही बना दिया, अब हम क्या करें, अब अगर कोई वो एजेंडा लेके फील्ड पे उतरेगा तो उससे ज्यादातर समय घटिया मूवी ही होगा. क्योंकि हमारे देखो अच्छे नॉन लेफ्ट मूवी डायरेक्टर कितने हैं, आई वुड से ओनली आदित्य धर एंड विवेक अग्निहोत्री. उसके अलावा और अभी रणदीप हुडा. अभी रणदीप हुडा का भी फिल्म उसका अगला फिल्म तो शायद उसको फंडिंग मिलेगा भी नहीं, ऐसा अगर कोई नॉन लेफ्ट मूवी बनाया तो, क्योंकि ये तो फ्लॉप कर गया, ये तो फ्लॉप हो गया. अभी आदित्य धर को फंडिंग एटलीस्ट मिलेगा क्योंकि उसका हर फिल्म इतना हिट हो रहा है. तो मैं तो बोलूंगा ये राइट विंग वालों से मूवी बनाना का चक्कर नहीं होगा. ये हमको राइट विंग मूवीज इतना इंसेंटिवाइज करना पड़ेगा कि लेफ्ट विंग भोसरी वालों डायरेक्टर को ही वो करना पड़े बिकॉज ऑफ इकोनॉमिक इंसेंटिव्स, कि वो बनाए बगैर अगर पेट ना चले तभी उनको ही बनाना पड़ेगा. क्योंकि राइट विंग लोग अगर मैसेज को प्रायोरिटाइज करोगे ओवर द स्टोरी, ओवर द प्रोडक्शन क्वालिटी, तब वो घटिया फिल्म ही बनेगा. क्योंकि इतना लेफ्टिस्ट मूवीज होता है, क्योंकि हमारा मेन स्ट्रीम पूरा ही लेफ्ट है, हमको ये याद नहीं रहता है क्योंकि बहुत सारे लेफ्टिस्ट बहुत बुरे डायरेक्टर भी होते हैं. especially if you come to Bengal. There is a
Anand,
leftist proletariat director in every alley, okay, and they make absolute horseshit documentaries that nobody watches because they prioritize the message so much. The only people whose movies will be well-made movies and will be interesting that even right-wing people will watch is if they made a good movie, right? And that happens even though those movies have left-wing propaganda. That happens because those people were not prioritizing the message. They believe in those things in their hearts anyway. Hello?
and I think
Yeah.
the writer actually needs to catch up on filmmaking because the one credit I have to give, they are excellent at filmmaking. Actually, the commies, the good ones,
Yes.
because
Yes.
progressive
Because
writer.
art has become a left-wing thing since
Yeah.
the Enlightenment era.
और ये लोग बहुत ज्यादा ओवर द टॉप चले जाते हैं फिर राइट विंग में कि एकदम की मतलब देखो देखो ये है दे नीड टू वेरी
मैसेज मैं खुद नहीं देखूंगा वैसे मूवी भाई. मेरे पास टाइम भी नहीं है, पैसा भी नहीं है फालतू का सिनेमा देखने का. तो मैसेज अगर प्रोडक्शन के ऊपर रखोगे तो घटिया मूवी ही बनेगा, घटिया गाना ही बनेगा. मूवी के क्षेत्र में ये और भी एप्लीकेबल है.
And the one thing I wanted to ask you, what is your like total stance on the farm laws?
फार्म लॉस तो मैं जोकिंगली तो बोलता हूँ सारे के सारे किसान नेता को 5 साल के लिए हाउस अरेस्ट में रखो, उनको पिज्जा बर्गर खिलाओ, देखो ऐसे ही पूरा सब प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएगा. तो फार्म लॉज में आई एम एब्सोल्युटली विद द गवर्नमेंट.
क्योंकि देखिए उसमें फिर इतना उन लोगों ने कर दिया. आई मीन एक बार पढ़ के एवरी मैनिफेस्टो हैड इट वाज एक्चुअली गुड. मतलब थोड़ा एक दो यार प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है, नो लॉ इज परफेक्ट, बट उसके लिए इतना बवाल हो गया पूरा टूल किट. आई थिंक थोड़ा एक एक्सपेरिमेंट करके वी नीड टू मूव टुवर्ड्स इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन मोर, क्योंकि जब तक हम लोग एग्रीकल्चर उससे नहीं बढ़ेंगे तो वो जो एक जंप होगा वो नहीं हो पाएगा.
हाँ. और एग्रीकल्चर करेंगे भी तो वो भी ठीक से करना है. ये कैसा एग्रीकल्चर है भाई? सब कोई एग्रीकल्चर का प्रोडक्ट खा ही रहा है मगर फार्मर्स भी सेट कर रहा है, तो उसमें कुछ गलत तो हो ही रहा है.
यस, थैंक यू दादा, थैंक यू फॉर योर टाइम. बाय.
हाँ, थैंक यू फॉर जॉइनिंग. बाय बाय.
बाय.
Okay, is anyone else here? Is Sanatan Dharm here? Hello. I'll count till 10 and then leave. It's already 2.5 hours. Oh yeah, he's here. Hi, Sanatan Dharm.
Hi,
we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. See, there are a couple of things I wanted to tell you. So I was watching the debate. I mean, you had few days back with one communist guy, one person. He was on live and. And with like he was saying, since the justification he was giving that time was, since West Bengal is very limited with resource and all, and the population is so high, so that's why communism fits well and all that thing. If that is the case, then what about Venezuela? That has a very, minuscule population. They have so much of resource and still it failed.
Yeah, that is Thomas Sowell's main research, that resources have nothing to do with it. Africa is full of resources. Kya ukhad liya?
Yeah. So, I lived in the 80s. I'm pretty old now.
Okay.
So, I have seen the kind of, what you call, a kind of paranoia, a fear psychosis, I would say. Like you cannot talk about politics. Because someone is going to someone is watching you and someone is going to take actions if you go too far and all that kind of thing. So 80s was horrible during that time because CPM was in power and they did all kind of atrocities and they kind of played a game. I lived in a suburb which is very close to the city, Calcutta, and they used to spread this kind of thing that they have made immense progress in the villages. And they used to spread that, and unfortunately that time there was no YouTube, there was no Google, there was no internet, nothing, and the only way the information it used to flow was through newspaper and all, and there were two sets of newspaper. One was completely against and another was Ganashakti and that kind of thing. So very limited knowledge, and many people actually believed in that, that there was development happening in the villages. So then later when I in the 90s, when I went to, probably in the late 90s, when I went to one of started, going outside of the city, outside of the suburbs and going deeper into the villages, I saw there is no development. This is all nonsense.
Yeah.
And I was surprised. There was not. I mean, there is no hospitals, nothing. There is no school, no education, no development in agriculture sector, nothing. So all those things which were propagated to the people in the cities and in the suburbs were just a pack of lies, and that's it. So I mean, it was horrible. It was horrible. The good thing that they have gone, and I know TMC wouldn't last that long anyway, because it's not as organized as the CPM party. But they kind of ruined it. And the unfortunate thing is, with this thing, what was happening in Bangladesh with the Hindus, with the minority Hindus, in the 80s, in the 90s, people had no idea. People had, that was the time where, my generation should be speaking out about the atrocities that was going on in Bangladesh against the Hindus, like horrific things that was going on that time. And now we can see all these things now because of social media and various other. You cannot suppress anything in this digital world now. So, but I feel ashamed sometimes. How come we didn't know anything that time? Because it was completely suppressed. And if we did something, or even the generations before that, in the 70s, in the 60s, or even after independence, when those horrific riots and those kind of things happened, the Hindu population in Bengal would have been in a much safer place, because they would have been, they would have all the knowledge now, and something, we would have done something about it. Okay, it's never late to start. I mean, the awakening is happening. It's even, I mean, I would say 5 years back, I had very limited knowledge, and then I started watching all those from all the Sanatani channels and from YouTube channels like Jaipur Dialogues and all. They opened up my eyes. I mean, I was so in the dark, and most of my generation were like that. And but now it's a good time, and the awareness is coming. So I'm very happy, like young folks like you are, taking this a step forward. I mean, change will come, and there's a lot of ex-Muslims and ex-Christians who have come up as well. So things would turn for the better, I guess.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Ninar is now here. Okay, Ninar, I can't take you on today because I have to leave. It's 2 hours 36 minutes already. I have to have dinner and stuff. So we're taking this up the next day. Okay, this was fun. Okay, sorry, Ninar. And Gautam Varun again next day. Okay, it's gone on very long already for only that reason only. Okay, bye bye. Good night.
श्रवरूढं महाभीमं गुणाद्रष्टाङ्गरप्रदं हस्य युक्तं त्रिनेत्रं च कपालकर्णिकाकरां मुक्तकेशीं ललज्जयं पिबन्तीं रुधिरं चतुर्बाहु समायुक्तं वराभयकरं स्मरेत् चतुर्बाहु समायुक्तं वराभयकरं स्मरेत् काली काली महाकाली कालिके पापहारिणी धर्मर्थमोक्षदे देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते धर्मर्थमोक्षदे देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते काली 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 महा